Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Hello?
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's showtime!
Groovy.
Yo, what is up, everybody? My name is Anthony, and this is my channel, Child of the Corn. Why did my thing just take up the whole spot? There we go. Jeez Louise. So tonight, as you guys can see from the title of the stream, we're going to be going over the Leprechaun franchise. Yes, we're a couple days early, but Monday is St. Patrick's Day, so we said, why not cover this, I would say, fun franchise. You know, some of the films maybe aren't all the best, but to me, this is, you know, easily probably one of the guilty pleasure franchises out there for myself. So but I have a couple people with me tonight. So instead of doing the WWF intros, we're just going to bring everybody in all at once. So we got my man, Cody. What's going on, Cody?
Hey, how's it going?
What's up? We got my man, Donnie. What's up, Donnie? A little bit laggy, but it's all right. You, sir. And then we got basically Brittany. What's up, Brittany? My bad.
I was muted. Hey.
No, you're good. My bad, Brittany. I'm sorry. Where do you reside? I'm sorry.
Oh, Arkansas.
Arkansas. Okay, nice. I'm just trying. I gotta try to. So Cody, North Dakota. Donnie, Missouri. You, Arkansas. I think Days from Tennessee, right? Yeah. Shape is Illinois. I'm just trying to remember where everybody's from.
Cody,
Nice.
I just saw you from Fargo, and I was just like, that made me think about the movies and the TV show. I was like, oh, snap.
Well, I mean, we have the famous wood chipper at the museum here, so.
That's hilarious. Nice. So let's see what we got in the comments. We got my main lady, Days. She just got back from work, so she actually loves this franchise a lot more than like I actually figured she would. But she likes. Well, we'll get to it, but yeah, I don't know. She likes this franchise a lot more than I thought she probably would. Then we got my man Shape. What's up, Shape? What's up, dude? Shape and I are actually going to be doing a stream on Monday night, so you guys should come and tune in for that. We're just going to be talking about some stuff, more so just stuff that's kind of going on, and we're going to cover a little bit of that stuff too to kind of start out. But Shape's like Leprechaun's okay. Yeah, no doubt.
If it's not Michael Myers, he doesn't like it.
Yeah, right. So before we start in on the franchise, I figured we could talk about some stuff. I guess maybe more so like the main thing that I guess like the biggest news. And I don't know why I didn't think this is just how I just don't really realize how like fast movies can get made. But like literally Scream 7 just like wrapped up filming.
Well, so did I Know What You Last Summer too. They're pretty much at the same time.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy because like when I saw people posting, it was like, oh, final day of filming. And I'm like, damn, dude, like they already got that shit wrapped up. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, but I think what's crazier is that Scream 7 started filming after I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah, that's still filming, isn't it? Isn't that still filming?
I just saw Jennifer Love Hewitt post that thing or like the other day where they were showing like the marker coming down and stuff, which I thought was dope. I was like, yeah. So like, what do you think, Cody? Does that like worry you that they got done so early, or does that sound like it's right on track,
I mean,
or what?
look at what they did with Scream 2. They had to pretty much almost start from scratch on that, and
That is,
it's one of my personal favorites, so I thought it turned out pretty damn well.
amen. Yeah, with the whole script leak and all that stuff. Very true.
He had a lot of Scream 7 too.
What's that?
Leaks. They had a lot of that for Scream 7. I mean Scream 3 too.
I feel like every like Scream film, to be completely honest, like 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 I wouldn't say anybody that we know was like posting any like spoilers or anything like that, but it's almost kind of a little bit better to like sit back and kind of just be like, I'm just gonna let all of this just kind of like happen, and then when it comes out, it comes out. You know what I mean? Like, yeah,
right. Like you have all those YouTube channels that are all about posting leaks or rumors or whatever.
Twitter, dude, X is crazy, dude. Like X,
I stay off of there.
Yeah, X is actually crazy because like there's like accounts I won't even be following, and they'll just come up on my feed out of nowhere and stuff. So, but I like it from what I saw, like some shots and stuff like that of kind of like one of my buddies was actually down there by where they were filming and stuff in Atlanta and stuff, and some shots I saw and stuff look pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited for it. We'll see. It's hard for me to hate any Scream film or anything to do with Scream. So,
yeah,
I'm the same way. I'm gonna go watch it regardless.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I'm gonna be real though. I'm personally more excited for I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like, Scream is my baby, and that's just surprising even to me.
Yeah, I mean, okay, like there's no way that she's not like significant piece or part of the film, Jennifer Love Hewitt. It's not that I don't like the film, but it's just like, obviously I realize that there's a, new cast and all. It's probably going to be like a Scream 5 or something like that. So we'll see how it goes. But I did see some of the shots of like the windy road and all that stuff. And I'm like, man, that looks like the first film and stuff. I'm like, I like that.
Yeah. But I mean, Jennifer Love Hewitt said that she would not return unless Julie had a lot of substantial stuff to do. So
correct. This is
and
true.
then we had that shot of her actually getting a letter.
Love it.
So clearly she's into the fold somehow.
100%.
It just made me more excited because in the recent episode of 911, her character gets like kidnapped and she has to do all this fighting back, and she does her famous Jennifer Love Hewitt scream at one point.
Oh, dude. And she's like hallucinating, and the killer was like her or something. Yeah. I was like, oh, that was dope. She's still got it, man. Yeah, 100%.
She's doing good on that show. I really like that one.
What about
is it a continuation or they're like starting all the way over with it? It's her and Ray are going to be in it, but it's going to be all new people, or it's continuing their story, or what's happening?
Is it from the second film, Cody, or it's from the second film, right?
Yep, the second one is canon.
Yeah.
So
nice. So it's
they better have Brandy. They better have Brandy if the second is canon. She needs to still be around.
Amen. Brandy and Jennifer should have just got their own movie. No, I'm just joking. They could still do that. I mean, they could
if they can't have Brandy in it, they better at least mention Carla. Like have Julie get off the phone with Carla or something.
Yeah, have her call or something, or like pictures up, or
right.
something.
I mean, they gave that to Sarah Michelle Gellar in too. We just saw the picture of her.
True. Yeah. This is true. Yeah, 100%, Donnie. I agree. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer is easily one of my favorite sequels, dude. Like straight up, it's like a top 3 sequel for me, to be honest.
Yeah, it's
so
really
what the fuck is up with that fat white kid? No.
Jack Black, that's the funny shit.
Scary movie. What about that fat white Jamaican? I wanted to kill that motherfucker.
Yeah. I did.
I want to kill that motherfucker.
I did just see that they for sure said that who were the 2 ladies in Scary Movie? Anna Faris and
Regina Hall.
Regina Hall,
Regina Hall.
Cindy
they're
and,
both
Brenda.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
I think they're
coming back. They said
both confirmed. I think. Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, remember
awesome.
Regina Hall? Regina. Was it Regina or was it Anna Faris? One of them said they weren't going to come back if the other one wasn't. So I'm glad.
I think Anna said that she wasn't.
Yeah.
She said it depends on the money and if Regina comes back.
Nice.
And they make
and I
a
can't
great
wait.
duo.
Oh, amen, dude.
And quite possibly Keenan back behind the camera again. Like, I can't wait, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the movies weren't really good after the Wayans left. It's like 4 was okay, and then 5 I just couldn't watch. And I love Ashley Tisdale, but I just couldn't get into it.
I would agree.
4 was not that good to me. I had a couple of parts, and mainly because it was Brenda. But even though 3 didn't have the Wayans, I still freaking laugh like hell at that one.
Yeah, 3 is hilarious. Yeah.
Well, but that's because the Weinsteins took their script and made the movie.
Yeah, 100%.
Remember, they told the Wayans brothers that, oh no, the time for
what's up, Dom?
Parody
what's up,
movies.
Dude?
What's up, Dom?
Hello.
They told them, oh, the time for parody movies is past. Nobody's gonna think that's funny anymore, and so we're not funding this or whatever. And so Sean and Marlon was like, okay, bet. They left. That's how they got White Chicks. They start working on that, and then boom, next thing you know, a trailer comes out for Scary Movie 3, and it had the Michael Jackson thing and the signs thing and all that stuff.
Hilarious.
And they was like, what the? That's exactly what we pitched them. Like, okay, fine, let's see what happens.
See, a parody movie is gonna always be good as long as it makes sense and it's funny. Like when they're stupid, then no. When y'all just making it just to make it, then no. But if you make like a good like a Haunted House, that's a good parody movie.
Agreed.
Compared to the other Paranormal Activity type, parody movies, that's like one of the best ones.
Amen. Yeah.
Haunted House.
And then I saw a post saying that the Terrifier movies are going to be one of the movies spoofed in 6.
Yeah, I was just going to say it'll be interesting to see what movies they probably kind of bring into the film. Terrifier has to be one of them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got to be spoofing the idea of they got to be spoofing the idea of requels, because they bring back Jamie Lee Curtis and Nev Campbell and all that, and then in this you're having Anna and Brenda, and it's like they'll probably look at these younger people like, who the hell are you?
True.
Like they'll bring in new people.
Yeah.
What did they bring back? What was the son or nephew? Cody. What did they bring him back? Did he go off war or something? Well, he had special powers.
Was that 3 or was that 4?
He was in 3, and then they mentioned that he was like at a military camp or something in 4.
3, yeah, for sure.
That's
just hilarious. She's like, how did you let him watch the movie? He's like, I don't know. We were playing a game and I just rolled the dice and I was like, Yahtzee. Yeah.
It's a boy. He's going to be an asshole.
He's going to be an asshole. Yeah. That shit's hilarious.
No, my favorite part is Brenda with the TV. That will never be funny.
I'm whooping her ass, Sydney.
Yeah. This bitch is getting my floor all wet. Yeah.
She said another little white dude going down the well. 100 black people get beat, but one little whitey down the hall. It kills me. It kills me every time.
Yo, those are the jokes that are always so funny.
Like, no, my favorite one
also in the Haunted House, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was those are like the best.
You know that part where he's like. That part he's like we look, he was like, look, if we know he in there, why the fuck do we go in there? We need to run. He was like, we don't investigate, we run. That's why we survive at the end of the day. Black people, we run. I swear to God, we were in the movie theater, and when he said that, these 2 white people sitting in front of us got up and walked out, like, because I guess they were so offended by that.
Oh, I remember you telling me that.
How was that offensive? It's just like,
I don't know why.
I
don't know why, but the part that made me laugh the most in a Haunted House is when she's pretending to be homeless when they were like fucking around with the camera.
That is funny.
It's right before when he's.
You made her hold up the cardboard, yo.
Yeah.
And then what he's doing with the teddy bears, like what he's gonna do when she comes out. He's like, okay. And she's like, I'm ready. And she comes out like
that. Dude, I love that those films are on Tubi also.
Yeah.
100%. Tubi's always got the fucking best catalog, no doubt. Cody, I was gonna ask, since you brought up Jamie Lee Curtis, what are your thoughts on her fucking saying that she would like want to come back? I know you saw those, right?
Or
she was just saying like it would never be out of question that she could possibly come back for another like Halloween film.
No, hang it up, Jamie. Hang up your wig.
Hang it the fuck
She already
up,
brought
dude.
that wig with her on her Freaky Friday too. For some reason, I don't know.
I called that storyline. I was like, I told Jazzy, I was like, it's gonna be the granddaughters and them. They are all switch bodies. They're gonna be in the kids, and the kids are gonna be
Hell
them.
no.
I called it.
On what now?
Freaky Friday.
Gotcha.
I called that plot line. I was like, they're gonna be in the grandkids and the daughter's body, and then they're gonna.
Well, because one of them is her like soon to be stepdaughter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I ever watched the first one, to be honest.
Oh, you'd love it, I think.
It was really good.
Nice.
It was really, really good. One of their both like best movies of like that they've ever done.
Yeah, Lindsay Lohan. She's still a total babe. So, yeah.
Yeah, she still looks good.
Yeah,
she didn't get too much.
The way she looked the night of the Oscars, oh my god,
yeah.
She was gorgeous as hell.
I missed it. Yeah, yeah, I did miss it.
I always catch the looks. I catch the looks in the red carpets, and then I catch all the nominees and stuff later. But I watched the before part. She was really good.
Cody, or like, what do you guys think of what's her name, Madison winning over Demi? Total robbery.
Total robbery. Like
total robbery.
I liked Mikey Madison. I liked Mikey Madison in Anora, but it was not an Oscar-worthy nominated performance for me. It was even the movie. I thought it wasn't bad, but I'm like, honestly, this just felt like a movie Judd Apatow would have done back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying, because she was like, she beat her in like pretty much every other award show leading up to the Oscars. Yeah.
Yeah.
People were like, this is actually the substance in real life or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. Funny. I mean, not funny, because I think Demi totally deserved that award, but you know how those award shows go and stuff like that. So yeah, Dom's like totally robbed. Yeah. I totally agree.
Are you talking about what's her name who played Scream 5 winning that Oscar? Yeah, she didn't. I didn't watch that movie. I was like,
I didn't either. I remember seeing the trailer in one of the movies that we went and saw. I can't remember which one, but it just didn't tickle my fancy. I was just like, oh, nice.
I think I would have been more in favor of it if it hadn't been a comedy and it had been more of a serious movie. Like, the whole movie is her like being a sex worker, running around screaming, being rude to people, and yelling fuck throughout the movie.
Yeah, dude, that was the total vibe I was getting from that. I was just like, I feel like I'm not liking the vibe of this film, but I like her. She's a good actress, but like,
yeah, I mean, it's gonna hit Hulu, I think, this month. So I mean, it's at least worth watching when it hits on there.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just I didn't, and then also what got me with the Oscars was Wicked not winning. They opened the Oscars, but they did not win the Oscar. And no shade to the whatever movie that won, because Zoe, I can't remember her last name, from like Avatar movies and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Saldana.
She did amazing in what I saw in her clips on that movie, but that did not. That should not have won musical Wicked. That's like hand in hand.
Yeah.
And then like, come on.
I was surprised to see that also. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad that Wicked won the awards it did at the Oscars, because if they had won any of those, I would have been pissed as hell, because no one should have won those other than Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wicked was so good. I cried. I was so emotional. I've already seen the Broadway plays, but just seeing it again, the movies, it was really good.
I'm such a person living under a rock that I didn't even realize that it was a Broadway play. I'm an idiot. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't even realize. Yeah, up until the movie was coming out, and then like Dave was like, "Oh, it was a play or whatever." And I was like, had no idea.
It was based on a book first.
Oh, that would make sense.
I never read the book.
Me neither. I heard it's pretty different than the plays. Yeah. We're going to go to the play next year when it's in Minneapolis. So.
Oh, nice, dude. That'll be fun.
It's really good. I can't wait till part 2. I don't know if they'll do part 3 because they kind of the play is 3 parts, but they kind of did part 1 and part 2 in like the first movie. So I wonder if they'll do 2 and 3.
Yeah, I heard they're going to add stuff to part 2 though too to probably flush it out more. So like a lot of people said that the second half like feels so rushed.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I hope it's something good. I can't wait. They did really good, and they sing in the movie. They are singing live. That's amazing.
And like, yeah, I knew that going into the movie, but then there was something even greater about seeing them sing live at the Oscars because that actually is live. We're watching it live, you know.
Yeah,
and it sounded 100% the same. Besides the extra, music, adding the music and sound behind it, the voices. 100% the same.
Oh yeah, they were definitely lip syncing for sure. No, I'm totally joking. No, I saw it. It was actually really, really good. That's what I'm saying. I'm surprised that like they performed and everything, but they did win a few awards. I do. What did they win, Cody? I can't even remember.
I think they won makeup and hair, production design.
Yeah.
I think there was only 2, right?
Yeah, I think it was one was the makeup design and costume, and was it someone that won an award for that movie, or did the movie altogether? I'm trying to think.
Because I know the one that won makeup and hair, he was like the first black man to ever win.
Yeah. So. I can't remember the other one it won. I'll have to look that up.
So otherwise, I think Dune won all pretty much the other categories that are like the non-big daddies.
Who won cinematography or whatever?
I think that was Dune, wasn't it?
I thought they didn't win it. That's what I thought. I couldn't remember, but maybe they did. I don't know. I probably should have paid attention a little bit more.
Yeah.
Shape says, "Who's ready for the new Ghost album?" Do you guys know who Ghost is?
I do not.
I do. Shape. I do know who Ghost is. I will listen to their new album. I actually have a couple buddies that are like huge Ghost fans. Yeah, real big. They're just a rock band or whatever. Very new age. So what are your guys' thoughts on? I guess we'll get back to Scream just like a little bit. Like David Arquette being cast and like all this. Like, what are your guys' thoughts? We thinking more flashbacks or what are we thinking?
Definitely flashbacks. Yeah. But I think.
Do you think it's good for the movie, Cody, or like what? Do you think Kevin's got like a good idea of what he's trying to do?
Maybe we'll see.
Or are you scared?
I think I'm just more scared of the fact that people are probably going to get their hopes up in a way for like something huge or significant.
True.
With all these like returning people.
Very true.
I hope people are kind of turning them down a little bit in case they're literally just like smaller cameos.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as far as David, his is the one I'm kind of the most looking forward to because hypothetically, let's say this is the last movie, right? You know, people were devastated that he died in 5, even though many saw it coming. I think if this maybe works out to where it's almost like a happy send-off to him and his legacy, I would love that.
Yeah, no, I mean,
make one like make a tape like Randy did.
That'd be cool.
And maybe like they find it somewhere, or he had instructions for it to get sent like at a specific time or something. Like or if it involved Sydney and Gail specifically.
Yep, like maybe he left it to Gail or something like that. Is Gail in the movie? Mm-hmm. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, is she? Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Dom's like, are they going to go supernatural route? Probably not.
I'm hearing more and more about AI becoming a possibility in this one, like use of AI to bring back Stu and Roman and stuff.
Yeah, makes total sense. The whole deep fake stuff or whatever, which I think is, Cody's like, if this could be the last film ever, dude, horror fans would riot, dude. But hey, you know what? I don't think a lot of people thought Nightmare on Elm Street was going to go on such a hiatus. Like now it's like rolling, 15 years?
Yeah.
What's up, Donnie?
Yep. Sorry.
No, dude, you're good.
Welcome back again.
Okay. Speaking of that, Cody, do you think we get, or do you guys think we get a Friday movie or a Nightmare movie before? Which one do you think comes first? I feel like everybody always talks about this.
Ooh.
I'd say Friday.
Because I know we're getting the TV show. Maybe that might bolster some, popularity where then they turn to a movie. I would just like to see A24 do a movie though, man. That'd be so cool, dude.
Mm-hmm.
But a TV show would be fine. It'd be all right.
Yeah, because I mean, I wonder if they're like really dragging their feet on Nightmare because so many people hated the remake, and so many people are gonna like try. I think the Nightmare has such a huge, dedicated fan base that who knows? They're like it's like they're probably not even gonna want it because they're not gonna see anyone other but Robert Englund in the role.
I think that's what's hurting Nightmare the most is we just don't. I'm not saying everybody, but I'm just saying it's going to be hard to see anybody else other than Robert as Freddy. You know what I mean? Yeah,
and I mean, I thought Jackie Earle Haley did a great job as Freddy, so I have no issues with him. It was just a bad script.
It was.
I didn't fully hate the remake.
Oh no, I didn't either. Yeah. I actually enjoyed it. Yeah.
It's a guilty pleasure, I may say. Did it have a little? I was like, part, sure.
Yep.
And then I was kind of bummed that it wasn't Robert Englund, but who did play him was still really good. And we got to see more of the backstory line with him, how he died and everything.
Yeah, I agree. Rooney Mara is the one who really ruined the movie. Let's just be honest.
No, that's not true. To quote Anthony, they focus too much on the child diddling. That's how Anthony put it when we first conversed about it. That was his direct quote: child diddling.
I think we kind of forget with the originals that's kind of they said he's like a child murderer or whatever, but then but
it doesn't really go past it.
Two go hand in hand though.
Amen, dude. Yeah, what are we even talking about? Yeah.
Wait to that point. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you got it, Donnie.
No, I was just gonna ask because you're talking about how we can't see anybody else as that character. You know what I mean? I know that a lot of people, it's a polarizing movie and all that stuff. I don't hate it either, but do y'all think it would have been something where it should have just stood alone like it was, or they could have just thrown a lob to Robert Englund, kind of like how they did Tony in the new Candyman joint. It's about his story, but he's not really in it. You see him at the end, but it's not like he's in it though. But they still threw the lob hey, this is the OG right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That would have been good to see another Freddy, but not Freddy. But it's still following the same storyline. Guy accused, this and that. But it's that way it's easier to explain the change in face.
Interesting.
I think that kind of would have hurt the Candyman reboot in the end though, because people they just ripped off the new Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I think the Candyman is it requel? Is it a requel? Or
I'd say it's a requel because it's introducing sort of new characters, even though Anthony wasn't the original. But you're dealing with new characters, a new Candyman, but we still have returning people. So it's a requel.
It's thought new people, but it's still following this. It's within the same storyline
world.
Yeah. I thought they did a masterful job. I thought it was way well done. I loved Anthony's story. I thought it was dope, and then how they brought in the other, Candyman, storylines and stuff. Great job. What has Nia DaCosta? Has she done another film since?
I thought she was announced to do something, but I can't remember.
I can't remember what it was.
I know she did the Marvels, but
she did.
Yeah, which I liked the Marvels. I don't know why people.
I enjoyed it. The only thing I didn't really like about it was their main storyline, like how long it took for us to get to the root of their issue, why she was like so like shunning what's her name? Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
Carol.
Yeah, Carol. I can think of her human name, I guess.
Brie Larson.
Yeah.
I think I just got marveled out after Endgame. I was like,
Thank
dude,
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think I just got marveled out a little bit.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Like that movie was 3 hours and some change, and we only got 40 minutes of boxing.
Yeah, like, that's true.
Okay.
I felt ripped
Nia
off.
DaCosta is going to be directing a remake of Sleeping with the Enemy, the Julia Roberts movie.
Nice.
And then we totally forgot the fact that she's going to be directing the next 28 Years Later movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
She's directing that movie?
Yeah.
No wonder it looks so fucking bomb. Nice.
Well, not this upcoming one, but the one after it, because they're doing a new trilogy.
Oh, nice.
Danny Boyle's back to return this new one.
Oh, okay.
Wait, can we talk about that for a second? What's up with the trilogy thing? Like everything
that is true. Like
everything
they just came out with
it's not Star Wars. Like
I don't like they just did the Exorcist remake and they were like David Gordon Green's going to do 3 movies and it's like why? Just do one, dude. Like I think
Halloween did it.
Yeah.
And look how good that went for David. And now they got Mike Flanagan doing a new one.
But wasn't the reception so bad to the Exorcist thing? Like that shit cooled off like that. So are they not doing the other 2? Or what happened?
David Gordon Green went back in the closet on that one.
Yeah, right. Because it's like, it's a standalone thing. Okay, cool. You did what you did, but it's like, dog, we don't need to tell the story of Luke Skywalker in every upcoming horror movie.
True.
Exactly, because then it's gonna be kind of like going back to the first one, and like where would you go after we see one person live or whatever.
However,
However,
this first one looks really good though with Aaron Taylor Johnson. Like, I think it looks really good. Like, honestly, if they can knock it out of the park, I mean, all props to them. But I totally get what you're saying though, Donnie. Yeah, like it just seems like everything's a trilogy now.
And shout out to Shape. I know I'm gonna get an angry message for saying this, but whatever we hear, the Star Wars 7, 8, 9, like the movies. 8 was kind of but I like those movies, but it's literally Luke Skywalker's story told all the way over again, just with Rey as Luke. Like it's the same exact. Force Awakens is literally A New Hope. Like it's the same movie pretty much.
I mean, I'm gonna be real though. I like Rey more than Luke because I like seeing women kick ass more than men.
Oh, jeez, Cody, what are we talking about? No, I'm just playing.
No. He gonna take it somewhere that makes it unarguable. Nah.
No. Ray's story was fun, dude. It was way good. It was definitely good.
I'm just kind of annoyed.
I've never seen any Star Wars.
Oh, what? No,
I'm
just
joking,
Brittany. I'm just
joking.
joking.
About Star Wars is the 3 episodes they had on Family Guy.
Which
are the original. It's the original trilogy that they did on there. Yeah,
I actually had those movies. Actually, weren't too bad.
I love how when they get to Return of the Jedi, which Brittany technically Return of the Jedi, it was number 3 when it came out then, but it's number 6 in the actual story.
Yeah.
But when they were doing like the crawl on Family Guy at the beginning, and they got to Return of the Jedi, even in the crawl, it was like, okay, we weren't gonna do this, so we're gonna need y'all to lower y'all expectations. Like this is not gonna be as good as the first 2 because we didn't want to do this. But then Fox was like, hey, they want you to make a third one, so here we are. Like,
yeah, I enjoyed them for sure. Definitely.
Yeah, I've never seen them. And then the only one I think I've seen a little piece of was the one where I guess it was Darth Vader before the mask, and we see him in like this lava pit, and there's like fire.
Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith when he got his ass whooped.
That's the only part I saw.
To me, that was the only good one of 1 through 3, like the prequel trilogy.
I agree.
Oh, so that's what
I will have
Granted,
to.
I liked as far as Phantom Menace, I only like the Darth Maul scenes.
Exactly. Exactly. You're like the last 15 minutes is when it really sets off. Like that's crazy to me that Darth Maul made that much of an impact and you see him this much in the course of that film. But it's like
where's his prequel series?
It's like that's what you remember though. You remember the red and black face, the horns, and the double blades. Like you just it's something about that he made such an impact.
But then you get to see him. He comes back in Insidious.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I was watching a stream this morning where people were talking about how the first Insidious movie, oh God, they're gonna think I'm talking shit, which is totally fine. I mean, like, what do you guys think of the Insidious like franchise? You guys
I love it. I personally like those movies more than the Conjuring movies.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask. I was going to ask which do you prefer out of the two?
Yeah, like the Conjuring movies, it's purely Patrick and Vera that make those movies for me.
Amen. Yeah, I would say that's true. I'm just not a super fan. I'm sorry. Just relax. Everything's all right. Everything's gonna be fine.
No, I'm with you, bro. We'll both get burned at the stake.
Yeah, to me, they're just kind of too popcornish. Like they're not real scary. Like I don't know. Like, no, don't get me wrong. The baby, the baby bed scene or whatever in the first one, when they like look behind, like it's like behind the veil or whatever that.
Oh,
yeah, like don't get me wrong. Yeah, that part was like, I was like, oh, that was a good jump scare. I like that shit. That was good.
Yeah.
Then it just kind of gets cheesy, but it's all good. I mean, I like the Conjuring movies.
With
I think
Insidious, it's just because it takes the haunted house genre and kind of turns it on its head, because it's not the house that's haunted, it's the kid, and you're dealing with astral projection, and I think that's such a cool concept. And
yeah, that's true.
That's how these demons are getting in, and you got to go inside this ghost world.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. I think, even you heard Brittany just, like black people just don't do like super like possession demon kind of shit. We just don't like. But I mean, I do like the imagery of James Wan. That's why, Anthony, like when
I love James Wan.
When the Aquaman thing happened, I just remember being like, I was like, the horror dude gonna do that? And then when it got to that part with the trench monsters and stuff, I was like, oh, dude, excellent. Like, this is exactly why they picked him. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But see, with that, with the Conjuring movies, I only really, really like the second one.
You don't even like the first one?
No, like the second one's my favorite, and I like the first one. It's like it would be the second and then one. But see, with the Insidious movie, I enjoy the whole. Well, except for the newest one was that Red Door. Didn't really like that one too much. But 3 of Insidious is my favorite.
Nice.
3 is so underrated.
What's the last Conjuring movie called?
That's like Red Door or something. Yeah.
Oh no,
The Conjuring.
The Devil Made Me.
The Devil Made Me Do It.
Yeah.
And then the 4th one coming out is Last Rites.
Yeah, nice. I think that. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of the one that I sat here and watched in the middle of the day one day. That was a mistake.
The first one is with like that old house and the witch, and then 2 is the one where Valak the nun is introduced.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Then what's the Devil Made Me Do It? What?
Yeah, that's the one where the guy kills somebody and he says he was possessed to do it.
Yeah,
basically.
He's like walking down the road and it's like TCM remake shit or something. Yeah,
he's accused of killing like I guess it's his friend. They were like living at this like dog shelter / mechanic shop, and it was
and then they find like this underground lair where this witch is basically making people do all this shit.
Crazy, dude. I never saw it, to be honest.
I don't know what the fuck I was watching then.
Are you maybe thinking about an Insidious movie?
I don't know which one.
But honestly, they have all those spin-offs of The Conjuring 2. It's hard not to get them all mixed up.
True.
Yeah, because they have the Annabelles, which are like but then the Annabelles have their own spin-offs, which is like, dang, okay,
and then, the Nun, and then the La Llorona.
Yeah, and I was like, what is that? Like, that came out of nowhere.
No, this one definitely had dude to play Ocean Master in it, and they was like down in like some basement, and they had the girl like tied to the bed on some.
That was the first one.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
Was that the first one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they tied it to a chair
I remember
when the sheet was over.
Yeah, and she started levitating up in the air and shit.
And then she like fell down and smacked, and then it broke.
Based on a true story.
Dude, I remember when I went to go see The Conjuring in the theater opening night, they were checking IDs at the door because it was rated R.
Really?
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm like, why?
No,
I know they did that for the Saw movies too, which I can get, but
I saw that for the Saw movies.
You know what's funny about that, Cody? They were not doing that in the 70s, and my mom snuck in to see The Exorcist, and then she was instantly regretted that shit.
Shit all over the theater.
Like, there were people throwing up, passing out, like all kind of stuff. Like, oh, yo, we don't even know when the next screening is going to happen because we got to get this fucking pile of people out of here, passed out in the corner.
I remember she was on the live and she told the story.
Yeah. And it's just her being so terrified to even like leave out of the room. Like,
she was supposed to be babysitting.
Yeah, my cousin. Yeah, and she like she was like, I didn't feed him, I didn't change him, I couldn't leave the room, and then she wasn't answering the phone, and my uncle came home like on his lunch break, at night, and he was like, girl, why you ain't answering the phone? What's wrong? And she like almost hit him with a skillet when he was coming in the door just out of fear of what happened, because that was what 74, so she would have been like maybe 15 or something, and snuck in to see that John.
My grandma told me how my grandpa's brother, and his girlfriend all went to go see the original Town That Dreaded Sundown in theater. She made him stay the night at her house afterwards because she was not going to stay alone.
That's funny, man. Like how that works though, because you straight up like I told y'all before, like when I was a kid, my mom swear up and down that she don't like horror movies, but any like huge iconic horror movie you can name, she has seen multiple times, but doesn't like horror. I don't understand. And she traumatized me when I was a small child with Chucky. I had the same thing. Like, oh, dude, I can't. Till I was like 13, 14, I couldn't look at his face. Just the stitches and all. It just scared me. And I was like, in my mind, he was going to kill me, or he was going to make my toys kill me.
Yeah, like the thing with The Exorcist, it's just like there's some movies that just like after you get done watching them, they just like you just feel different. Like you feel like you just maybe possibly watched something that you maybe shouldn't have, or like it just like it affects you for like a while. Like I'm not gonna lie, I appreciate and respect the film, but I don't like to watch it. To be completely honest, it just
that one never fazed me at all. Like even my first watch, obviously because I'm more desensitized than people were back then, but I was laughing at so much of it.
Maybe that's what you should do.
When I went to Exorcism with Emily Rose, I was on the edge of my freaking seat.
Did you?
So,
Cody, did you watch the original cut where they put back all the stuff they had cut out, like back in it?
Yep. So I had blind bought the DVD, and it was the unrated cut with like the spider walk.
The spider walk,
the spider walk was creepy as all shit. It still is.
Oh fuck yeah! No,
And then the way it's like she's moving so quickly, like as she's coming down the way it looks is just, and that's what my mom said. Like that's what they saw initially, but. So I haven't read the book. I really want to get it, but like
the book was really good. I read that for the first time a year or two ago.
See, and I really want to just to compare, because like, but I'd be like Anthony with like a cross, and I'm like flipping the pages, like holding the cross, like dude. But what's maybe it's something I missed, or maybe the book goes in more detail. What's the connection of Marin to Pazuzu? Like what's the connection between the two of them?
They had battled each other, I think, at one point.
Okay, but I
could be mixing that up because they had like that prequel movie. for The Exorcist. They had that one. It was Exorcist the beginning, and that was the movie that was completely butchered beyond what the director wanted to do. And then they had Dominion, the prequel to The Exorcist, which is the movie that. Because I think they hired a whole new director for Exorcist at the beginning. Because I think Rennie Harlan did that one, and then it was a whole different director for Dominion. So it had a completely different storyline. That one is definitely the better version, I'd say. But yeah, I think it's because Pazuzu and him had like kind of gone head to head like a long time ago.
Because you know how he screams out like Marin, like as soon as he came through the door, like you could just hear like him screaming, you know what I mean? So I don't know if it's just he died just from just old age of battling this demon again, or if she actually killed him or whatever. But it's like, I don't know, man. It was one of those movies that when I first sat down and watched it over, one Halloween weekend or whatever, I remember watching it and I was like, Mom, I feel like you lied to me. This shit ain't scary. And then the last 45 minutes happened and I was like, never mind.
Yeah.
Like,
that's another one that's scary. Like, because there's certain movies that you watch and you come to find that the scary movies almost kind of ruin it for you in a way. So like, there's a lot of scenes in The Exorcist where scary movies do ruin for me.
Shake your ass. Watch
Mom, would you get out of there, please?
Yeah. I'm working. Yeah, that shit's fucking hilarious.
The scary movies
that one
helped
especially.
me a little bit not be so scared of like the Scream movie because I used to be terrified of like this. It was just a mask, I guess. But watching this like the scary movies was like, okay, it's not that.
I want to see what your insides look like. Well, then turn to page 54.
What? He's yeah.
Nice.
That shit is hilarious.
When he stabbed her and he pulled out the implant and he was like, ugh, like.
Okay, real quick question. Okay, I'll just ask this question and then we're about 50 minutes in, so then we'll get to the franchise. So what movie was like the movie that like scared you guys the most like growing up? I know that's like I've probably asked maybe you guys this before, but like what was that one movie? And Cody, you can't say like, oh, I wasn't scared of any movies, dude.
My pick's gonna surprise you, honestly.
Okay, you can just.
I'll go last. No, I'll go last. So then.
Okay, Brittany, ladies first. Yeah.
Okay. So mine's is easy because I'm terrified of clowns because of this movie, and it's the original.
The original.
Like, my cousins, we were at our grandma's house, and we weren't supposed to be, watching the rated R movies, but they snuck that in, and I don't know what part it came. It was a VCR. For those who don't know what a VCR is.
Oh, I remember.
There was this big ass box thing, right?
And you put what is called a VHS tape into a slot into that box. But no, they put it in and it wasn't like rewound back.
Oh.
So I don't know. I forget what part it was that it opened up and skipped, but me and my little cousin, we ran like from the TV so fast. It was like we disappeared. Like we took off. And then the next day, my little cousin, we were in the room and she was asleep. It was the daytime. She was just taking a nap. And all of a sudden she just jumped up screaming and kicking. And she was like, help, help, help. And she just she was just running around the house and no one could calm her down. And like she just like kept running around and she just like went back to the bed, lay down. And she was still asleep. That scared the crap out of me, and that's my movie.
So I'm guessing it was like the first film, right?
Oh yeah, the original, the 1970s.
But it was like
the 90s, miniseries.
92.
Yeah, 92. Yeah.
But it was like chapter 1 though, right? Or was it chapter 2?
It was the first chapter. It was still them. Still telling the story of the kids.
Matter of fact, didn't it have 2 VHSs like Titanic did? Because like okay.
It was the first one.
The scariest part, I think, in the first chapter 1 of the original was the part where they were like looking through like that the dude's photo book or whatever, and then he starts like doing somersaults down the street and like runs up to the page. That part always scared me. Yeah.
I can't.
That part always scared me as a kid. I didn't like that part.
For me, it was when for me. It was when Pennywise is in the sheets in the clothesline, and his face just turns to like all evil, like he's ready to
you're
pounce.
right.
Yep.
That image just, oh my god.
Yep.
You know what? To think about it, it was the scene, the shower scene.
The shower scene.
He came out when he peeled back the drain.
The drain, then he came through.
He said whatever to Richie, and then all of a sudden he like leaned back in his mouth. I was like, I can't.
I do remember that part. Yeah. Yeah, I can remember the first time I saw that movie. It was my buddies were terrified. I remember. I didn't like it. I watched it on
Sci-Fi for the first time.
Love it. All right, Donnie. What's your movie?
So are we talking about just me being just a child?
Just I mean, like, what was that first initial movie that just? I mean, I know you just. Well, okay, I'll let you go.
No, it was two things. One, wasn't as bad as the second one, but when I was a kid, I was excuse me, I was terrified of the Green Goblin truck with the red eyes, like just barreling at you in Maximum Overdrive.
Nice.
Just I don't know. My dad, for whatever reason, he loved that movie. He never told me why or anything. I remember him vividly saying. He would always like we'd be like eating French fries, watching it, and he'd be like, "Look, if this ever happens, like we all gonna die." I just remember him saying that to me. And there's a couple of scenes where, like, of course, like you don't see anybody in any of the trucks or the vehicles as they're moving, but like you can hear the Green Goblin truck like revving up, and you see the eyes start turning red, and that is just creepy to me as a kid. And then but a couple years later, my mom traumatized me with Bride of Chucky when he's sitting on dude, and he turns his head around and he's got all the stitches, but he's sitting on dude's chest. That was it for me.
I love the
It ain't the size that counts, asshole.
Yeah,
that's what you do with it.
Donnie, I'm not even gonna lie, dude. In '98, I was sitting in the back of the movie theater, literally like this, watching Bride of Chucky. Like when it started out, like when she pulls his head out of the bag and shit, I'm just like in the back, like going like this. Yeah, dude, Chucky was yeah. I did not like Chucky. All right, Cody, what's your pick?
Okay, well, this one I won't count, but Legend of Sleepy Hollow, the animated Disney one, that traumatized me so bad I threw that shit in the garbage after I finished it.
Legend of Sleepy Hollow Disney version. I don't know if so it's an animated?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I have to see
that. But as far as an actual horror movie, I love the movie, but it was just this particular scene, in I Know What You Did Last Summer, where Ben Willis sneaks into Helen's room and then it's doing that zoom in on the closet door and you can hear her breathing. I made sure my closet door was shut every single time. I did not like. I had to make sure there was a light on in that bedroom because I'm just sitting here picturing Ben Willis in my freaking closet.
You ever be like fighting the darkness, like you're going into the room, but you got your arm in there first, trying to hit the light switch before you go in?
Dude, honestly, Cody, I think a lot of people don't give. Like that's a scene like right there that I feel like a lot of people forget and how great it actually is. Like she walks in, goes into the kitchen, like he walks in, just like what I never got was like how the dad didn't see him. He was like sitting there, watching the game or whatever.
I don't even know what the dad's deal was. Like she says hi to him and he's just like ignoring her. I'm like, no, dad cares about the game that much.
Yeah, he's just like she's like, hey dad, like he just doesn't say anything. But like, when she's like coming to the stairs or whatever, and then he's
going into a room at the same time at the top.
I mean, it's such a great scene, man.
The fact that they didn't need to show him in the closet. All they had to do was like max up his breathing, and you hear that as it's zooming in.
Amen.
Yeah. And then the part you were talking about, like with the dad, it reminds me of Prom Night when she first, like the first 10 minutes when she's like walking in, and she sees the dad in the living room, and he's already dead, but she doesn't know that. But she's talking to him and having a whole conversation. I'm just like, does he normally ignore you when you talk to him?
Right.
Because if not, that's your sign that something is obviously wrong because he's just ignoring you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I could think about the whole time.
Are you talking the Prom Night remake?
Yeah, the remake with
Brittany Snow, total babe,
yeah, Brittany
dude.
Snow. Like the whole time she's sitting there, hey dad, oh I had so much fun, and da 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 da. And where is mom? And he's not saying anything, and she's just putting her jacket up, going up the stairs, and it's like, does he normally not answer you or respond?
Best way to look like a teenage girl, as a woman, is put your hair up in a ponytail, wear a pink jacket.
Right.
And then they tried to do that with Lisa too, by just like all they were doing is just straightening her hair out and putting it in a ponytail and a puffy jacket.
Some of that stuff is scary because it's like it's real, like Misery is like that for me.
Misery is like a clenching your teeth kind of fucking that movie is
ankle,
way fucked.
I can't. I have to cover my ears with that. I cannot.
100%. I can't watch that scene. Yeah,
I can't do it.
Well, you know what's funny about that though? That scene, real quick, is like the chainsaw thing in Scarface. Like your mind makes it worse than it actually is because Cody probably knows. He probably read the book too. In the book, that didn't happen. She cut his shit completely off. She didn't break anything.
I think that's what I heard.
And like in the movie, if I'm not mistaken, you see one, she hits the side of his ankle, but then you don't see her do the other leg. It's just the one in your mind
because they got the point across with the first quick shot of it.
True.
And it's the same thing like when the Colombians take the chainsaws out and stuff. Where you don't actually see anybody getting hacked up in Scarface, but you see the blood and stuff, and in your mind like, oh my god, we just saw somebody get cut up. No, you didn't. That didn't happen.
Well, that's what they say about the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is that people say like, oh my god, it's so gory and gross and blah blah blah. It's like, but it's really not.
It's really not. Like, your mind just makes it worse. What's yours, Anthony? Or was it the Child's Play thing?
Wait, what?
Dude, Child's Play. It had my older brother messed up, but it was like, so I had this weird little thing where like my brother was terrified of Child's Play, but yet we always rented it and always watched it. So then I came to terms with Chucky that I was like, you know what? He's kind of funny. He is scary at times. Dude, like you said, it was those lifelike eyes. Like, you know what I mean? It was those eyes that you were just like. Actually, did you know that those eyes were actually used for the Tales from the Crypt? Like the Crypt Keeper, the same eyes were like used for him. That's why I didn't like the Crypt Keeper either, dude. The opening to that show used to terrify the shit out of me, man. I didn't like it.
Sometimes skip it.
Yeah,
or like
it's weird how they reuse stuff like that.
Yeah,
and it's so
like how they reuse both Linda Blair's tongue in The Exorcist for the spoof scene in Scary Movie 2.
That makes sense.
Or it's like like what you were saying, just the eyes, like that part is like the rest of him is so robotic, but then when you see him like just kind of like looking around, it looks like like we're actually or even like the scene where like I think he hears something about Caputo on the news, and you see him just like it just turns so quickly to see like, hold on, that bitch ass dude on the TV. Wait a minute, like.
Dude, I actually think the animatronics, what they were able to accomplish with the animatronics in Child's Play, like the first 3 films, is actually one of the most masterful things, like honestly in horror, like to be honest, like it's they did a crazy good job. I was just gonna say,
hey Brandon.
I was gonna say this must be a friend of Cody's. What's up, Brandon?
What's up, Brandon?
Appreciate you joining us. So real quick, my bad, and we'll get to the franchise. Dude, it was Jaws for me. Jaws always just terrified me. It was, I don't know what it was. I had this weird, again, like I hated the movies because they scared the shit out of me, but like yet I was so intrigued like with the movies, so I watched them quite a bit. Like I would always be watching the movie, like I'd be out on the couch by myself in the dark watching, and then I would just get this image that like the couch was just out in the open ocean, and like I was just like floating out there. It would just terrify me. I would just be like, dude, this is I don't know. The Jaws movies just messed me up for sure. But
you know what? I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know how my mom takes a shower to this day, because she went and saw that too. And she don't talk to you about nothing with the she don't even buy ocean spray cranberry sauce. You hear me? Like she just that movie like messed her up. She don't, and we ain't going to no beaches and none of that. And that was her thing to just you know what I mean? And as I was older too, because I told y'all she the one that put me on game to Candyman and stuff, and she was like, she's like, "Oh yeah, you say his name in the mirror," and he shows up, and I remember being like, "Oh, go ahead, do it." She was like, "Shit," and but so when I was anxious to see this movie, right? So got on the internet and searched and found it, and I watched it, and it was like nighttime, and that was a mistake. And you don't see him till like 45 minutes in the movie, but when he comes to Helen in the garage,
Oh
and
yeah.
you hear him like you just
Mm-hmm.
hear his voice just echoing through the. I cut the shit off right there, dude. I didn't resume till the next day when the sun was in the middle of the sky. Are you kidding me? Like,
Nice.
and I was like 18. Like,
And that's the wild thing about Tony Todd, that he was such a handsome devil in that movie, and he has that suave jacket on, but it's
Yep.
just his voice that just makes you feel so unsettled.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I cried so much that day, man.
Now, Donnie, you saying that you were 18, like a movie that probably scared me when I was actually like of age and stuff was probably Sinister. Sinister is probably like one of the more scary movies that I still to this day don't even really like watching that movie. It just
I fell asleep
It's
during
the
that in the
ending.
theater.
that is insane, Cody. Damn. That's
So
crazy.
is that Cody's way of saying, "Oh, this shit was trash"? Like,
Yeah,
that,
pretty much. Yeah, no.
I was only alert during the videos, like the film footage stuff.
Which are probably the best parts, to be honest. Yeah,
really good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There were so many good jump scares, and I hate the endings to both of them because no matter how many times I try to prepare myself, it still gets me every single time. Like I jolt so hard, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the jump scene at the end of I Know What You Did Last Summer got me for a good few viewings for a while, where he jumps out of the shower.
I like getting my mom with those. Like, that'd be funny. Hey, mom, come here, watch this. Boy, I ain't watching no shit like that. Like I.
Good stuff. That's why we like horror movies. It's jump scares for sure. Alrighty, so you guys ready to get into the films? I'm not gonna lie, I actually had the first film just on in the background, and now it's over. So
yay! Oh, my bad.
so we'll start with the first film, 1993's the OG Leprechaun.
And didn't they film this in '91 and just like pocketed it for 2 years?
You got me. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Do you know, Cody?
I thought I read something like that.
91. Nice.
Yeah, because I feel like that one.
We got to do the math. When did Jennifer Aniston get her nose job?
Yeah, right.
Jesus Christ, Cody. Damn. Well, yeah, the camera adds 10 pounds, they say.
To the nose?
That was the joke, Cody. Yes.
Wow. When was she on hiatus from Friends? When did they have a break? It was sometime in between Friends.
When did Friends even start? I'm not for sure.
Was it like 93 or 94?
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah. Well, it kind of sucks that like, I don't know that she didn't really much acknowledge this, movie. Like I think that's what I've heard. Is that true, Cody? Or like
it came out September 22nd, 1990.
Probably. I might have heard that, but I heard that she was in talks to at least have a small reprisal in Leprechaun Returns, but it didn't pan out.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so maybe she doesn't really turn her nose up at it so much. Nose, Jennifer Aniston.
Right.
Yeah, so.
Boo! Nah.
Yeah, so maybe she doesn't hate it that much, but
nice.
I kind of wouldn't falter if she did, because it's not like, Friday the 13th or Halloween or anything.
True. Yeah. Okay, so we'll just go around real quick. What are you guys' thoughts on the movie? Cody, you can start.
I thought it was fine. It does set the groundwork, of course. Warwick Davis was fantastic, as he is in all of them. I think maybe they could have. I think the biggest disappointment for me was that they weren't bold enough with the body counts. Like, I feel like they should have killed off some of the main characters. Like, the pogo stick death was great, but it's like you could have at least killed off a couple of the people, like the main dude and the other guy, like the not the kid, but the other guy, Ozzy. Yeah. So like there would have just been Jennifer Aniston and the kid that survived.
Yeah. I could dig that. I could definitely do that. I would actually say that compared to the next sequels, the kill count and the kills are just far better for sure.
Yep.
Yep.
And despite being filmed and despite taking place in North Dakota, that was not
North Dakota. I was just gonna I was gonna bring that up earlier. I was like, yeah, that first one takes place in North Dakota. When you can literally tell that it's like the fucking hills of California for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Britt? What did you think of the first one?
I give the first one maybe like a 6 out of 10. Like, it was okay, but
nice.
Like, the Leprechaun franchise is in my like top, so I would, a lot of the ratings are like in. But on the first one, like Cody said, what killed it for me were the kills. It wasn't enough kills and a little bit of gore for me. And then also the plot line kind of like get drug at first, and then they seem like, okay, it took too long, let's speed it up. And I was like, but the timing just wasn't good. And then the dad kind of like wasn't in we didn't get a good kill with him, and then he was gone at the hospital, and we just never saw him again. I was like,
never saw him again.
Okay. I would have, if that was going to be the case, I would have loved to see a good kill, but we just, I'm going to the hospital. Never saw him.
The cold open was honestly the best part of the movie for me.
Mm-hmm. The what now?
The cold open. Yeah, the cold open with the old couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the opening. That's what I hate about some movies, where I love the opening, and then the rest of the movie is just like, eh. I was like, well, what happened? Who instructed the opening? Because whoever did the opening should have did the whole movie. You should have moved with that. It seemed like two different people sometimes in movies like that have wrote the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So 6 out of 10 for the first one.
Nice. I think the opening is absolutely fantastic. You got the lightning in the background when you kind of first just seeing glimpse of him, like at the beginning at the top of the stairs when he like kind of like when she falls down the stairs and shit, and when he comes out of the suitcase. I'll let you go, Donnie. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that it was cool. Like it's a it's an introductory piece. I don't get the whole excuse me. I don't get the whole I needed more kills, when I feel like the firsts of a lot of franchises don't have a whole ass load of kills. Like I feel like that's just what it is. And I think what it is they're kind of trying to set the tone, and I feel like sometimes they think, even back then, like, hey, if we just go kill 25 people, then how are we going to top that later on? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, we start at 4, then the next movie is 8, and then the next movie is 15, like whatever. I think it's easier to do that. I think part of the problem though that I had is to me it felt too much like it was trying to be both some kind of to use Anthony's word, fantastical comedy and horror, but it's like it was like tiptoeing the line too much without really committing to one or the other. Because like his like little one-liners and stuff, sometimes they just feel flat to me, compared to obviously Freddie and Chucky, who are like the kings of talking shit before they take you up out of here, right?
Yeah.
So that's what it was. I do like the pogo stick joint. But if he's jumping on Buddy's chest, though, what
his face is all fucking
why?
Yeah.
Why is his face bloody? But other than that, same thing. Cold open. When the old lady was falling down the steps, all I heard in my head though was like, "How's it hanging, Phil?" Like,
right.
I just had flashbacks of that. But yeah, I mean, introductory piece, cool, but I still feel like it was like tiptoeing the line too much, not trying to commit one way or the other.
Nice. I dig it. Okay, now I just want you guys to know that obviously if I'm doing a stream on this, you guys got to know that I love this fucking franchise. Like I just grew up watching these movies a lot when I was a little kid. Like I can remember watching the first one the first time on HBO. I was in the living room sitting there with my mom. She's sleeping. I'm watching it. And I'm just like, like I'm talking. I was very little. Like this is probably like one of the very first like horror movies I can actually remember watching as like a little kid. The first one.
In the 70s.
What's up? 70s?
This is in the 70s.
Okay, so first off and foremost, dude, it's so crazy that Donnie just brought him up. But dude, I'm telling you right now, Warwick Davis is an absolute fucking legend. Like this dude has, I think his one-liners and his aesthetically he looks really cool. The first one I maybe not so much compared to the next sequels, but I still think he looks pretty good in the first one. But dude, like performance wise, dude, he's right up there with Brad Dourif and Robert Englund in my mind. Like I think he has such good one-liners in these films. Like it's fucking hilarious. Like like when he's like looking for his gold in the house, and then like he pulls out like the Lucky Charms, and he's all like, and he like tries to eat them, but then he spits them out because he's like, what the fuck? And he pulls out the fucking mirror from the fucking drawer, and he scares himself when he looks at himself. Like, oh my god, this shit is hilarious. Like he gets thrown off the one brother and his hand goes onto the stove and he fucking takes it off with the spatula and he's like, we're cooking out kids. Oh my god, dude, just hilarious.
Oh wait, real quick, question. do either one of you guys know, did Warwick Davis, was he doing the lines like in the moment, or is he just talking and then they're overdubbing it in later?
I think he's doing them right there, right? Wouldn't you think? Or
I would assume so. It sounds like him because he has the same voice as in Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Clap, please.
Please. Back.
So like for the first one, I actually like this one a lot. To be honest, I think Donnie is totally right. Like I think like don't get me wrong, I think the kills are a little bit lacking. Like even just like the cop, like he kind of just like chases him around the woods for a little bit, and then kind of just twist his neck or whatever. Like I'm saying, like I think Donnie might be right where like you don't want to have like too gory of stuff because maybe it might turn off for like the sequels. Like maybe they're kind of just trying to ease their way in to be like, let's kind of do like a film that's going to be pretty much all about Warwick Davis. We're going to pretty much base it, even though you do have Jennifer Aniston obviously in the film, you got the kid from Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead or whatever. And to me, that's what I like. To me, that's what this film kind of feels like. It kind of almost feels like this wholesome kind of like a little bit more family oriented movie.
So kind of like a Gremlins type movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Where it's like, I think that's why none of them honestly, Ozzy and all of them survive, and everything. I think it's more so like, it just was kind of stepping into the like, it's, I don't even know. Do you think this movie was rated R? Probably not. Probably PG-13. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it was.
I want to say it was R because, that was kind of like, even though it was early 90s, I'm guessing the MPAA still kind of had certain boundaries they didn't want crossed.
It's probably stepping on like the boundaries of like almost PG-13, but probably rated R. You know what I mean? Right. So it's
like, the Conjuring movies are rated R for like just for being too scary. So
true.
Yeah.
So okay, my bad.
Well,
for me.
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good, Brittany.
I gotta jump off here, you guys. Sorry, mommy doing calls, but I forgot what I was gonna say. I had fun joining in the live.
Oh no, yeah, thanks.
It's always fun to come in and talk movies with you guys, and we'll have to do this again and jump in here again and talk about whatever.
Do you want to at least share your favorite of the franchise before you jump off?
I was literally just gonna ask.
Okay. I'll do my top three.
Nice.
My top. Okay, number 3 would be and I'm really bad with the names. My favorite, the one where it's the girlfriend's missing. Is that the second one?
2.
Second one. Yep.
Okay. And then. I would say, this is so hard. Okay, y'all, no one's probably going to agree, but my second one would be Back to the Hood.
Nice.
Or no, In the Hood, and then my first one is Back to the Hood.
Nice.
And not many people like Back to the Hood.
No, Brittany, we're right here. Like, I'm with you. Like, I understand.
As a kid, besides the first one, that was the one that was playing on BET all the time.
Hey, yo.
I mean, jumping ahead, I'm gonna be real. The best friend's death, where she's like in the bathroom and he like pretty much guts her. That's like my second. That's my. I was so mad she died, but that's my second favorite death in the franchise.
I loved it. I cried like anyone would. I really didn't want her to die. Everyone else could have died except for her.
True. Very true.
It's so funny you said that, Brittany, though, because it was like that. Tales from the Hood and Bones was like the only
the only good horror Black movies,
that BET had on in rotation, yeah.
And then after that, Baby Boy came on there.
Yeah, real shit. Like, what? Totally unrelated.
Don't ask me why Baby Boy came on that.
Back to the Hood was the only Leprechaun movie we had in the video store at one point when it came out.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was the only one they had.
Because all the other ones kept probably getting taken. No one wanted
Probably.
A lot of people didn't like it. I enjoyed it. The story
it was fun.
I like that movie a lot, actually, to be honest. Yeah. It's definitely high on my list. Yeah.
It was campy, but I enjoyed it. And how they found it and everything that led up to, with the gold situation and how he picked everyone off. It was really good. And the kills were amazing.
Yep, 100%.
And it was still funny. Like the funniest part to me was obviously when he was smoking with I forget what's his name.
Ice-T?
No, Ice-T in the Hood, but in Back to the Hood when he was smoking with, oh my God, what is the dude's name? I can't think of what his name is, but he with the dude who was like he had the bag of weed and he was trying to sell it, but then he like the leprechaun, came in and smoked at the bong. He didn't know, like he was just disoriented. It was really funny.
Hilarious.
And then the part where he killed the lady in the massage room, in the massage parlor.
Oh, I do remember that part. Yeah.
That was really funny to me too. So mine might not be the favorite, but those are the ones that I saw most of the time.
Yeah. Honestly, most of the time that's what really matters. It's like kind of which ones you saw the most. Yeah.
And let me say, I think all of them are rated R. This thing I was reading was saying that the first one, it says that the MPA database shows that an edited version of the film that they rated PG-13 was submitted, but the version was never ever released. So they pushed for the R rating.
Nice.
All of them have it.
Okay.
Which that makes sense. That probably makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, I had fun, you guys. So those are my top 3, and I would say my bottom are like last place would be Origins. Because it's really not Leprechaun. That's a monster. That's a monster movie. And then Space. I just didn't like none of the space movies are good. I just didn't like the space one. Those are my bottom 2. But I have fun, you guys. Thanks for everyone watching, and I'll be back hopefully soon whenever you guys want me to come back.
Nice. Appreciate it, Brittany. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate it.
Protect your fort.
I shall. Do not come knock on my door. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.
Later. Okay, yeah, nice. So first one, I think it's a pretty good starter to the franchise. But I do think, well, I guess we'll get to it like right at the end.
Well, I do want to say that even though Jennifer Aniston isn't one of the best final girls in it, I like that she at least got a badass moment where she's like holding a shotgun, or like he's like, "Do you know how to use that?" Nope.
True. Very true.
Nope.
And I think she does a pretty good job in the film. Like, to be completely honest, yeah, honestly, she does. I actually think they all do. To be completely honest, yeah.
Well, and then you recognize the guy who played Ozzy, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah, from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
100%, yeah,
yeah. So I'm like, where the hell does this guy look so familiar? So I IMDb'd it. I'm like, oh, this guy, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right, so now we'll get to the second film. He enters the city. Pretty much. I mean, yeah. That's another thing I do like about the first one is that it does take place just out on like a farm or whatever. Like I like that the setting aspect of it. 2 does make it a little bit better though, that it's in the city and stuff. So what's your thoughts, Cody, on the second film?
It's not one of my favorites. I think because I just didn't feel attached to either of the two characters, the guy or girl.
Yeah.
Definitely not the old guy, because he was a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Peace. But it does have the best kill of the franchise, of course, with the lawnmower.
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, I was like, who didn't probably like that kill?
Yeah, so I mean, it got more ambitious with the kills, so I can appreciate it for that. But the general story just didn't vibe with me that well.
Nice, I can dig that. All right, Downey, what about you?
Yeah, I concur. Just because the budget is a little bit wider doesn't necessarily mean that you're gonna make a better movie because you can afford better props or whatever the hell. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel similarly to, of course, the lawnmower. Who doesn't like that though, right? Like, but one thing that I had it in my notes was okay, so I don't know what the amount of time is that takes place from the first one to the second one. Like, I know it's like a year, like release date wise, but I'm saying like in the film, I don't know what the time is. But how the hell did he age 400 years in that amount of time? Like, you know what I mean? I would imagine that it's not 400 actual years between the first movie and the second movie. So,
well, not to mention he's coming out of a tree in this one when he like technically died in the well.
Yeah, that too. Like, but I'm saying, there's a part where he's like, "Oh, I'm 1,000 years old," or St. Patrick's Day is my birthday. It'll be 1,000. I'll be 1,000 years old. But he said something about being 600 in the first one. So
unless they retconned the first one.
Yeah, maybe because I was sitting there, I was like, is my math not mathing? Like, wouldn't it? He'd be 1,000, but what's the time gap?
It has that flashback in the beginning, so maybe they did retcon it, and because
to be completely honest,
the continuity in this series is just as bad as like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So
no, I totally agree. The time frames, I would definitely. They don't really make a lot of sense. I would definitely agree. It's almost like each one is like starting anew, pretty much. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And then, I'm sorry, Anthony. Go ahead.
Oh no, you can keep going, dude. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say like, I appreciate the ambition of it, but like rushing it doesn't help. You know what I mean? It was like, I'm saying within, like, how we were like talking earlier before I lagged out, we were talking about how like the movies, it seemed like they just started filming I Know What You Did and Scream and stuff, and now it's like it's done. Of course it's gonna get like, labored with reshoots and all that kind of shit is gonna happen. But with these, it seems like like it started filming, okay, we're done, couple edits, boom, put it out, but that just because you're trying to strike while the iron is hot, that doesn't necessarily make for a good movie. Just because you can have consistency doesn't necessarily mean that it's quality.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah, like for me, I actually do really like this movie a lot. When we get to the third film, I kind of give my comparative explanation of like the first three films. The second one, it's good. I like the storyline is obviously a little bit different. I think it's obviously like a step up from the first film. I think his aesthetic looks a little bit better. Like you said, Donnie, like they just got a little bit more money for it, or a little more production value. Now the storyline, it's okay, but I just it's all right, I guess. He's got better one-liners, better kills and stuff like that, but I still think like I don't know. To me, these films, I know they're like Trimark films, but to me, they kind of almost come off like I was telling you, Cody, like Full Moon films or something like that. So it's like, I don't obviously take them too serious, but like, again, this franchise and these films are probably like the epitome or like the definition of like guilty pleasures, pretty much. So. For sure. So I don't mind the second one. I think it's pretty good. I think the final girl and the main dude, Cody, that's in the film, like they do a pretty good job. And I think Warwick Davis obviously, does a really good job. But yeah.
Where are we at in the second one?
In the city, I guess.
Okay. There is never really like said specifically.
I don't think so. Or do they? I can't even remember.
I can't remember either.
Okay,
I'm actually gonna say that I think the kid mentions it at the beginning, but I can't remember now.
Okay.
Maybe at the police department or something. I can't remember.
You know, it's called. It says Leprechaun 2 is known as One Wedding and Lots of Funerals in the UK.
Say that one more time.
It says Leprechaun 2 is also known as One Wedding and Lots of Funerals in the United Kingdom.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That's interesting. Like I don't know if it's even called Leprechaun 2. It just says.
Google says it takes place in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
okay.
Dude.
I thought it was. I thought that's what it was, but
I thought the whatever is Morty. I thought Morty, when he's at the police station, says LA's finest. Yeah, he does say that. Yep. Good stuff. Okay, let's keep running through these. All right, so now we're on to, honestly, my personal favorite. I'll just say it. Leprechaun 3 in Las Vegas. Yes. All right, Cody, what do you think about this film?
This one is the best one of the franchise to me. I think this is where it finds its home. It's perfectly campy without being too campy. It's just generally the most fun entry. Like, you got some really fun kills. I think that Vegas is the perfect home for the Leprechaun. I love Caroline Williams' death with like her, because she was talking about wanting like cosmetic work done on her body. She wants stuff bigger, and her ass just gets huge, and she blows up.
Dude, I can remember being young and being like, when that part happened, just being like, "Holy shit, this is crazy, dude!" Yeah, interesting. Like very.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, pretty much. Like it just, yeah. And I like how. Well, okay, Donnie, what's your thoughts on the film?
No, I was gonna say I agree with my man here. It's not my favorite, but if I'm unbiasedly saying, I do think it's the best. I just like the aesthetic of him kind of being in Vegas, and him, he even seems just more giddy at the fact that there's so much gold just around here for your boy. Like, it just something about that just seems cooler. And as I'm looking here, they keep bumping up just little by little the budget for them to go out, and these movies I'm saying is like what, it's only maybe a year in between.
Yeah, they're all just a year in between from the first one to the fourth one.
No, 4 came out in 97, it says.
I thought it was 96.
But 3 came out in 95. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan. I just like that the aesthetic of him just kind of like, I don't want to say it's like it's his like habitat, like how you would use Crystal Lake, that's Jason's habitat. You would say like, I don't know that I would say Las Vegas specifically, but I feel like if a leprechaun was real and you took him into the Bellagio or something, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you seen one of them slot machines kicking out all of those coins, he would just lose his mind. Like, you know what I mean? And that, I think I like that aspect of it.
Amen, dude. Yeah, this one was straight to home video back in the day. Real quick story. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm in like I can't remember what year it was, but I remember. So I'm pretty sure I had seen this film one time before, and then I remember I loved it, and then I remember I was at a video store in Phoenix, Arizona when I was real little, and I walked in there and I was like, oh shit, they got Leprechaun 3 in Vegas. I was like, nice. I was like, I gotta get this or whatever. And so I go up to the counter and the dude's like, you realize you got to be 17 for this movie? And I was all like, oh fuck, you're right. but he sold me the movie anyways, and I was like, dude, let's fucking go, dude. So yeah, I had this movie growing up. I actually remember I left it at one of my buddies one time. Never got it back, son of a bitch. Anyways, Dude, the third one. Okay, so this was the comparison I was gonna make earlier. To me, the first three films, like, dude, I know you guys can make fun of me. It's fine. The trilogy, the first three films are like some of my favorite. It's probably like one of my favorite trilogies of horror out there. And I know it's like, holy shit, but like
of this.
Oh yeah, for sure. These first three films are probably some of my favorite. Like, it's easily one of my favorite trilogies of just all horror franchises, for the simple fact that I feel like this franchise is very much like the Child's Play franchise, where like you have the first film, you kind of start out, you kind of realize who Chucky is, like all this kind of stuff. Same with Warwick Davis. Second film, you kind of, up the production value, you kind of got the one-liners, the kills. And then the third film, you have it in like this kind of like way out there setting, just like Child's Play 3. You have it at the military academy. You got this one in Vegas. It just like, to me, even the third one's just as good. All the one-liners, the kills, like, it's, to me, I think it's almost like a perfect replica of like the first three Chucky films, to be completely honest. But that's just my take. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I respect the first one, just like Child's Play. I think growing up, the second one was probably my favorite, but now, like, rewatchability wise, I think I like the third one the best. And honestly, that's probably the same how it is with like the Child's Play franchise too. So,
the third one is your favorite?
I think it's the most rewatchable. Yeah, I think I have the most fun with the third one, to be honest. Yeah, I like the third one a lot, dude.
That's interesting, because it's my least, actually. Like,
damn.
Like, how could you say that, Kemper? You're right there next to the military school that they shot the shit at. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I just don't, I mean, it always cracks me up when he's sitting there and he's like loading real bullets into the clips like that. Yeah, that's something about that's always funny. But and of course him getting fucked up by the fan at the end is always funny. But something about that second one, man. Just to like, I love Kyle. Like, and I may or may not have had a crush on her, so maybe that has something to do with it. But like, I still can't get over, just real quick. Y'all know that part where he's like in the back of the newspaper truck and he's trying to do the transfer.
Beep, beep. And she's all honking the horn.
That's what it's because he was just so like fed up with her. Yo, I'm trying to do the bitch. Amen. Oh, I wanted to ask. So you said that was the first direct to video one. So is it always like you will get a reduced budget when it's going direct to video? That's always a thing, or can you still procure adequate one to make a movie that's gonna be direct to video?
You got me, Cody. I don't know. What do you think? Probably.
I mean,
maybe.
Honestly, there's maybe something there, because, I mean, look at Boogeyman 2. How that looked so much better than the first one, and that was a theatrical film. And like 2 and 3 were straight to video.
Oh, that makes it. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
which you should watch that movie, Donnie. It's Boogeyman 2. It's good, man. 100%. Cody recommended. It's a slasher, dude. Really good stuff, man.
What's it on?
Is it on Tubi, dude? I can't even remember.
I think so.
Yeah, I think it is on Tubi, I think.
Anthony, you got to watch this movie called 75. I think Cody said he already had seen it before.
Yeah, I actually own that on DVD.
Yeah, so, yeah, Anthony.
75. Okay.
I mean, the killer is pretty much wearing the same getup as the one in Urban Legend.
Which is why he'll like it. Like,
oh, really?
But
I think he also uses an axe for his kills.
Yeah, big ass axe. Old girl went to the door thought it was the pizza man.
Yo, Cody, what's that other movie with the Urban Legend look-alike? It's like
ATM.
No. It's not ATM. ATM definitely, for sure. It's this movie called like Dead Tone.
That's 75.
Yep, that's 75. They had two different titles.
Oh, I've seen that movie then. Yeah. Dude,
okay,
that movie rocks, dude. Hell yeah.
Okay, okay. It's like, word, you've seen it then. Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
75 awesome. is what it was. No, I think like internationally it was called Dead Tone or something. But
okay.
I think it's
the
called
DVD
75.
I have is called Dead Tone, so maybe it's the other way around. Because I know when I watched it online initially, because it took forever to get a DVD release here, so I watched it online, and it was 75 then. But then when I got the DVD, it was dead tone.
Huh. Cool. Oh yeah, dude, I've definitely seen that movie. Yeah, the first thing I noticed was I was like, oh, the killer looks like the urban legend aesthetic or whatever. Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about then when the chick went to go answer the door, talking about it was the pizza man, and whop, like.
I need to rewatch that again. Yeah, it's been a minute.
I think that's on Tubi too, if I'm not mistaken.
I think that's where I watched it at. Yeah, nice. Good stuff.
Oh, real quick, why do you guys think? Because we were talking about so many similarities. Do you think maybe that's why? This with the similarity thing between Chucky and the Leprechaun, that's why they didn't try to cross those two. They tried to do, I guess, another character that's more supernatural, and that's why they were trying to go with Candyman.
That's a good
like.
Yeah, no, that's interesting. Yeah, because you would think they would almost fit together better. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And they're about the same size. I mean, it'd be interesting maybe how Warwick Davis would have worked like with animatronics, or you know what I mean, in that instance against each other. Excuse me, because it just seems like a wash to put like Candyman, who's really like a phantom, against Leprechaun, which I know he has his powers, but I'm saying like stylistically, like it's David versus Goliath.
To be honest, yeah, dude, I'm actually kind of glad that they didn't do that because. I think the Child's Play franchise is probably just way more popular than the Leprechaun franchise. So maybe they didn't want to kind of like water the franchise down or something, probably. But even Candyman, like I'm glad that they didn't do the crossover because I like how they're each just like have their own thing. You know what I mean? Like, some crossover, like when they were talking about like Michael Myers and Pinhead or whatever, like that crossover just doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, what do you think, Cody? Right?
Yeah, I mean, like even when there was talks about wanting to add Ash into Freddy versus Jason, like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I totally agree. Freddy versus Jason, now that's a totally different story. That shit like absolutely makes sense. Yeah, I think.
I gotta ask Cody, what's your favorite kill in Freddy versus Jason?
The bed kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He folded my nigga into a taco shell. Yes. Yeah.
That part is really crazy.
After stabbing the shit out of him, and then he still wouldn't die because he's gripping that beer can for dear life. Then,
and then he turned him into a fucking like a boomerang. Like he was like the Y in YMCA. I was in tears. And when he gives the dude the 180 at the cornfield, hilarious.
But the dude's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. He just son of a bitch. Like, get out of here, dog. Like. I love shit like that, man. That's the kind of
not gonna lie though, as minor as it is, Kelly Rowland's death is pretty iconic too. The way Jason just bitch slaps the hell out of her with the machete.
She goes, yeah, true. I'm not a fan of the flying the distance of a football field. That happens with everybody that gets hit by a machete, but you know, I guess to each their own.
Yeah, true.
And I like too, you can see the dude's eye still moving when he's folded up. Like you can see him still like doing like this. Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah, that guy was just a piece of shit too. So, holy shit, dude! The lawnmower scene in the second one, yeah, this shit is nuts, dude. This chick is an absolute babe, no doubt. Nice.
Well, I'm not gonna lie though. When it was first starting out and showing that it was an illusion, and it showed the little propellers on her boobies, I think that's how it went down.
Yeah, no, it does. Yeah,
but it reminded me of a scene in Dumb and Dumber where he's daydreaming of Mary, and she's like opens up her top. You see the headlights. Yeah.
That shit is hilarious. I can remember watching that as a kid, thinking like seeing that for the first time, being so confused, like what is happening? Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so let's step into space. Honestly, I think this movie probably went to space before a lot of other horror movies. Like, so my bad. You said 97, Donnie?
Mm-hmm. It says came out October 31st, 96 in Russia for some reason, and then February 25th, 97 here in the US.
Okay. I think Hellraiser went to space around maybe that same time. Didn't Bloodlines? I can't remember. But again, like I said, at least it started, the trend before a lot of other, movies did. Anyways, what were you guys' thoughts on this fourth one?
Yeah, Bloodlines came out in 96 also.
Okay, there we go.
96?
Oh yeah, you said Leprechaun was in 97, but yeah, Bloodlines came out in 96.
Nice. And that movie was, it was okay. Not the best, but it was all right.
I didn't know it had anything to do with Clive Barker.
Yeah, he was still in the series. Yeah, during that one for sure.
He wrote The Forbidden, which is the adapted story for Candyman.
Yep. So we'll start with you, Donnie. Donnie, what do you think of this fourth one?
In space. First thing I was thinking, like, dog, didn't the Power Rangers just go to space like right before this? But no, man, I enjoy it, man. I think something about that aesthetic to me is just cool, just because it's like, well, I like that better than like, oh, we're gonna go to hell or we're going to go to this magical land of unicorns or something. I would much I dig the space thing. And what I love is how all of these killers, no matter what they are, human, leprechauns, whatever, they can just survive in space. They can just breathe in space. Everything's cool, no problems. Like
100%.
So I like it. Definitely not as much as the next one. So to me, it's like middle of the road. I wouldn't say it's but I wouldn't. It's not the champion of the series either.
Nice. Yeah, no, I can dig that. All right, Cody, what do you think?
This one's my least favorite.
Least favorite.
Sorry, Dace. I saw you say this is your favorite, but yeah, I think it's just because I was so cringed out by how bad the effects were and like the setting. It just looks so freaking fake, and the acting was like just terrible all around. I like the relationship between Leprechaun and then that princess. I thought they were
funny,
but
together.
Yeah, I just did not like it. Like the effects were just so bad in this for me to not really enjoy it all that much.
To be fair, Cody, you've never been to space, so how would you know?
Well, I mean, the ship itself looks like it's put together with cardboard.
Yeah,
because it probably was. Like they only had $1.6 million to work with. Like,
I mean, Cody, have you seen the space shuttle that supposedly went to the moon? It was made from like tinfoil, dude. No, Cody, I would totally agree. I would say this one seems the most full moonish. Like, if you get my drift, like it definitely does. Like, dude, have you ever seen Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys? Holy shit! With what's his name, Corey Feldman. Dude, that just never mind. Those demonic toy movies were not that bad, and so were the Puppet Master movies. They weren't that bad, but when it came together and they were like, you were like, oh, this could be like the perfect like war between these two. It was not good, dude. It was not good. So I totally get what you mean. This movie is almost kind of seems like a video game where they're kind of just like, let's go, guys, like we're gonna go kill this thing, or like, you know what I mean? So it definitely does have its funny fucking moments in it, though. Like, I don't think Warwick Davis like has any less like great, lines than the first three. Like, I think the lines are just as good, and stuff. And I think some of the practicals are really cool too, like when that like doctor dude gets like transformed into some fucking scorpion spider looking fucking thing or whatever. Like, it kind of reminds me of Gremlins 2 or something like that. But
yes, I'm not crazy about any arachnid on my screen, but
right.
But I can dig it.
Forgot one thing. Actually, I take it back. My favorite part of it was Miguel A. Nunez Jr. I am so glad his character survived because he was hysterical.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
Leave this island before evil falls over your aerobicized booty. Like,
well, then he's like pretty much making all his comments because she's like cursing them by showing her boobs, and he's like just like all for it. It's not giving a shit.
No, he's always funny. Like, they said once they do their Darkopolis ritual, the creatures will rule over the earth for 10,000 years. That's why I'm gonna take this dead Arnuki beast up in my house, protect myself.
He was in Friday 5, wasn't he? He was 5.
Yeah.
And you know what? And too, they were talking about that. Like, Cody, I'm sure you've seen it. And Anthony, I think you said you sat down and watched it too. On Horror Noir, they got to that part where they was talking about how black people are always the first to die in the horror movies and all that stuff. And when they were talking to him about it, he was like, man, like none of that mattered. I was able to call my family and say, dude, I was in Friday the 13th. Who gives a shit about that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Whereas, at a certain point in time, like that, it seemed like that was an inescapable trope for black people. You know what I mean? And so to hear him say that, it made me kind of be like, you know what?
The fact that it is too, he didn't even die first in 5.
Yeah, no, I'm not, yeah, I know, I'm talking about like before
in general,
that happened, and then subsequently after, or it was either that or tokenism, like Rachel True in The Craft.
Yes,
love that movie, but tokenism, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you got Reggie. That's like probably like one of the best final boys or dudes, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's hell a lot better than Pam.
Dude, Pam is all right in that movie, and she's totally hot running around in that white, see-through shirt in the rain. But the way she's yelling, it's just like, shut up. Just
then
please.
She like falls down, and Jason's like 100 yards away, and she's still crawling backwards on the floor.
Yeah.
Like it's like, Pam, you deserve to die. Just lie down.
It's not worse than what is that part 3? The chick, Chili's dead. No, it's not worse than that. That might be the worst stretch of acting I've ever seen in my lifetime.
Yeah, that is true.
What?
Very true.
And the paper mache head thing too was hilarious to see. Like,
yeah.
When Jason squeezing dudes,
yeah,
and like
exactly.
you can see like the fishing line with the fake eye, like gonna slide down it. Like it's
like I'm just mentally thinking, boing,
yeah,
yeah. Like it's just it's funny, and it kind of like falls into this too. How it's like pretty much the whole time we have praised Warwick Davis, like he is great at what he does, right? And it's funny to me how it just seems like it's like, okay, we're just gonna keep coming up with bullshit storylines with trash actors because we know Warwick Davis, they might carry it off tackle for a couple yards, but he's gonna get to the end zone. He's
Amen.
You know what I mean? Like it just seems like that's what it is with this.
Dude, you couldn't have painted a better picture, dude. That's exactly right. Exactly. Storylines are going to be fucking way far out there, but he's going to bring it all in. So I totally agree. Okay, now we are off not in space anymore, and now we're in the hood. Nice. with Ice-T.
Yes.
All right, Donnie, I'm going to guess that this is probably one of your favorite ones, so I'll let you start, dude.
What gave it away, Anthony? What are you trying to say?
Donnie in the Hood.
You put that there. Man, I don't know why. I just love like the slapstick-esque stuff that happens in this movie. And it kind of reminds me. What year did this come out? 2000.
2000, I think. Yeah.
So this clearly is after Tales, and just some of the shots and some of the aesthetic of this reminds me of Tales from the Hood, and it reminds me of Bones, which came right after.
Yep.
And shout out to Ernest Dickerson. And the scene of him getting out the whip. And you just see he just sticks the cop's leg out, like will always make me laugh. Like it's something about just like I said, just a slapstick comedy of it. It's always funny, and I like the stereotyping, yeah, sure, but I still kind of like the characters in the sense of like, man, like it's the hood is a little different. Like, man, we gotta kill this little motherfucker, as opposed to like, oh my God, we're super terrified of this little creature. It's like, hold on, like, bruh, we done seen scarier shit in the hood. You ever seen the roaches that happen in the hood? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just seemed more like that. So maybe I can relate to it a little bit more. But yeah, definitely my favorite one. And shout out to Ice-T, legend.
Yeah. He actually probably makes this film probably what it is, to be honest. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I like. I would love to have seen like his interactions with like Ward, just like them just sitting just in between takes, just talking, like what their interaction would have been.
True. All right, Cody, what about you, man?
Yeah, I really like this one. I'd never watched. I'm not like an avid SVU watcher. I've seen episodes, obviously, when I'm like, they're on, I'll pop it on. I've watched it on streaming a few times, so it was totally weird watching this after seeing Ice-T only on SVU and then seeing him in this. Yeah. But he still rocked it. I just wonder how many people would rather come up to him and talk about this film as opposed to SVU, and he's probably thinking like, I like you. But yeah, and I think this one stands out the most to me as far as like characters, because our three main guys, they had such a great relationship. You actually like cared about them, and you actually felt pretty upset when they died, like the other two guys.
100%. Yeah,
and
100%.
Do they kind of feel like the three gangsters in Tales to you guys?
Yeah, that's true. I
Like,
can see it like, when he's talking. Yeah.
And then I love when the leprechaun comes in the house and he's talking to what's his name's was it his mom or his grandma?
Grandma. Yeah.
Grandma. And he's sitting there having breakfast and she's trying to feed him and he's just struggling.
Yeah. I think this one's done really well. Like I said, I think the main obviously Warwick Davis does a really good job, but I think Ice-T is kind of like the icing on the cake. Like his one-liners and like his moments in the film are really funny and shit. And then I like at the end where like you're thinking like, oh shit, like the medallion like fell back on him and now he's stoned. And then the guy comes out and you're like, oh, well, he was successful because he got the flu and, the leprechaun became, but then it was like, oh no, the leprechaun, he's like under the leprechaun's control. Like, you know what I mean? Like it kind of was like unexpected. So I like that.
Yeah, that was a cool twist.
Yeah, cool twist.
I wonder too if Ice-T even fucking remembers he was in this movie, because I read a memoir of gangster life and redemption, one of my favorite autobiography memoir kind of books, and he's going through his career like literally bit by bit. And I mean, I didn't know him. I know him New Jack City, of course, seeing that, but I didn't know him as an actor. I listened to Ice-T. You know what I mean? He pioneered gangster rap. There's no NWA without him. So, and if y'all don't know, he got a song called "The Tower," where he's rapping over the Michael Myers theme song. The Halloween theme song. And
the Tower. Okay,
it's called "The Tower." It's him talking about like being in prison, and I looked around to see who had the power, the whites, the blacks. It's just the gun tower, and you hear the Halloween theme in the back as he's rapping. And so that's
the plot of Oz.
Yeah, right. Like, and that was the thing. As I was reading the book, like when it got to that part, he was talking about how he got Law and Order, and people were saying, "Oh, he sold out because he played a cop," but then Body Count had cop killer and all that stuff, But he never mentioned this. Is the point I was getting to? Is he never mentioned being in this movie at any point? Like he didn't talk. I think he talked about New Jack City, and that was it. He didn't talk about like any other movies that he was in, and he wasn't even like huge character in New Jack City.
Yeah, the first thing I remember him from is just like like Cody said, was SVU. My parents used to watch a lot of SVU, dude. So I used to watch that shit like all the time. But
see, y'all knew he was a rapper when you saw him on there, though.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And I had seen New Jack City too. So yeah, good stuff.
I guess I didn't know that SVU came out the same year as In the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
I remember this one always being on Sci-Fi all the time. That's what I remember.
Yep.
Yeah.
Apparently there's some deal, because something I was reading here, it said every St. Patrick's Day they show all of the Leprechaun movies on that network.
That would make sense.
There's maybe some kind of publishing deal with them.
Nice.
I mean, that was where the very last Leprechaun movie aired, because it was a Sci-Fi original. So.
Yep. True. All right, so let's get on to the sequel then. Back to the Hood. I just watched this one last night again. I'll let you guys, Cody, I'll let you start this time. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, I like this one. It's kind of mid-tier of the franchise for me, but I still enjoyed it. I think the one thing that between this and 4 have in common is that I feel like it's going to sound weird to say, but it's more grounded in reality as far as the motivations of the characters and wanting the gold. It's not like just out of greed. It's because they need it to achieve a goal or something like that in their lives.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think some of the acting isn't the greatest, but some of them are some of them aren't bad. Like Brittany and I were saying how the best friend character, I thought she was great. I loved her. I think she gave the best performance in the film. And so I was so mad when she died so early on. And it's, even though I was upset, it's still one of the best sequences because it's kind of a chase scene in a way.
Yeah.
And, I was sad when she died, and it was still kind of a cool little death the way she just claws into her. But then I also love the death later on of the one guy's girlfriend who gets her jaw ripped off.
Amen.
Which, you know what? She sucked. So
she did suck. Yeah, 100%. All right, Donnie, what do you got?
No, I need you guys to put me on game because I don't know anything about these movies from here to the end as I'm looking at this list.
Oh, you didn't see Back to the Hood?
No, I don't think that was on Peacock.
They're all on Peacock except for the very last film, The Leprechaun Returns.
Yeah, I think
that's where I watched them.
Yeah,
okay, I just watched them all this past week.
Okay, so then I definitely missed that one then, and I don't remember finding a kill count for that particular one. Excuse me. So, what's the premise? He's back in the same exact place as
so dude, I'm gonna say if you like the first one, I like the second one. I like this one better than the first. I like the cast of characters. I think they all have really good chemistry. Like the funny guy that he's like getting stoned with like the leprechaun with, like I think that shit's like, well, he's getting stoned, but I guess the one dude that he ends up killing, he gets stoned with them. And then like Cody, you got like the whole part where he's making the sandwich and shit in the fucking kitchen, and it's almost like an ET like kind of thing where like ET's like drunk in the kitchen and he's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, I think it's hilarious. To me, I think Warwick Davis is better in this film. I think he's got funnier moments. I just, dude, it seems like the whole movie, though, very much is like them absolutely beating the shit out of Warwick Davis. And then he like ends up just like, you know what I mean? Like he takes a lot of punishment in this movie. Like they're like shooting him up with like fucking like Uzis and shit. And like it's funny.
And this is his last one, right? His last appearance?
Yeah, this is his last one.
Yeah. And technically, it's the end of the original franchise, so to speak.
Amen.
Okay, that storyline. Okay, so
it doesn't continue after that from this series of films. They very much go in different directions.
Do you guys know, like, did he just like tire of doing them, or they were just like, okay, it's not like selling a whole lot, so we're just kind of done? Like, what happened?
I think I heard that they tried to get him back for returns, Cody. Is that true? I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he said that he wanted to take a break because he wanted to wait till his son was a certain age or something like that before he went back to work on him. So,
dude, I hope we get another one sometime.
Is he real quick, Cody? Isn't he playing Grip Hook in the Deathly Hallows too?
Yep.
Okay, I thought so because.
I think because in the first one, it was some weird thing where, like, I think Vern Troyer played the physical Grip Hook, and then Warwick Davis played the voice.
Yeah, and then
he actually played him in Deathly Hallows.
Nice.
Yeah, in Deathly Hallows, it's actually him. Yeah.
Nice. We actually Dace and I actually just rewatched all the. When I was sick as hell, my last week off, we watched all the Harry Potters. I think from 4 on. My bad, from 4 on. Yeah.
Goblet of Fire.
Yeah, I mean, well then we'll just breeze through than the last two. I mean, like I said, I think Back to the Hood is better than I'm not trying to take anything away from In the Hood, but I just like the cast a little bit better in the second one. And like Cody said, I like how like they're trying to acquire the gold because they like kind of need it, and like kind of like I just like the storyline a little bit better.
Like the best friend character, she wanted it to be able to go to college.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Cody, and you know what is another really cool part of it is I like the animation at the beginning of the film, like when they start out.
Yeah. And the psychic was telling the story. Yeah.
Hey, man, dude, that animation was cool as fuck, man. I was like, yeah. And then they end it with the same shit, and I'm just like, dude, Donnie, you got to watch this one, dude. Like I'm telling you, man, it's fun.
Back to the Hood.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun, dude.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. Then when we get off of here, because there's no Saturday Night Live tonight. It's not a new episode, so I'll watch it.
Nice. Okay, then we can get to the worst one of the bunch. I think anybody that is familiar with this franchise. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I think like cinematography wise, I think the movie looks good. Obviously, I like the setting. They actually go to Ireland and all that stuff. I mean, they say anyways. Obviously, but I mean, it's Cody. What do you think, man? I mean, it's pretty much just like a creature feature, pretty much like almost slasher film.
Here's my controversial opinion. As a Leprechaun movie,
this is gonna be in your top 3.
As a Leprechaun movie, it sucks, but as a movie itself, it's good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It is the overall best produced. I think, because like you said, everything looks better.
Yep.
Granted, I don't know how they got the logic of making the Leprechaun almost looking like one of the creatures from The Descent.
The Descent, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That was weird. And I know people were all like hyped because of what's his name, Hornswoggle or something like that, playing him. Because they were hoping, because he's a little person, so he's like thinking that he's going to play a variation of the Leprechaun, but it's a weird little monster thing, and it's like, okay, it's cool, but it's not Leprechaun.
So let me ask this then. So is this now? I do remember watching the kill count about this like years ago, and even Janice was like, let's just hurry up and get through this fucking movie, man. Like when they like when the video started, and I remember seeing it then, have avoided it like the plague since. But is it so different because A, Warwick Davis didn't want to come back, or B, because like WWE Studios got creative control, or what? Because I know. Like
probably both.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to be probably both. Yeah.
Like I said, the thing is, it's not a bad movie. It's a bad Leprechaun movie.
Exactly.
So, because I know the WWE had like they were making a bunch of movies. There's Walking Tall, and there's The Rundown, and there's
See No Evil.
There's which is fucking great.
Yeah, it is. And I like the second one too, Danielle Harris.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I think it's like they got focused somewhere on just only trying to make horror movies or thrillers. Like there was The Call, which is a WWE movie, and then there was a Incarnate or some shit like that, which was a WWE. But it all seemed to like get horror based. And then, as I was telling Anthony the other day, like when Jim Johnston, the composer he did all the movie music and all of the wrestlers' music. When WWE fired him in 2013, that's when they got rid of like the studio thing. Like they stopped making or stopped producing stuff theatrically. It just all. Would this come out in the theater, or this was direct to video too?
Oh, probably direct to video or TV for sure.
I think it went to theaters briefly though, like super limited type thing.
Oh wow.
Okay. But yeah, see, and that was the thing. But my point is their focus seemed to just turn toward only doing horror.
What's up, Sarah? What's going on? Appreciate you joining us,
Sarah.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, I don't know who had creative control over it. Like, I, to be honest, like Cody said, like I don't really know why they tried to link it to the Leprechaun franchise. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I like the storyline; it makes sense, but like, it doesn't make sense in the allure that like the franchise built around like this slapstick, fucking foul mouth, like little son, but what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'd rather them have not called it Leprechaun Origins and just called it Leprechaun, so it's to like disassociate it with all the other films.
Yeah,
right. Because Origins, you think you gonna see like Warwick at like the beginning in Ireland. Yeah, like he's in a pub in Ireland listening to Thin Lizzy or some shit. Like,
dude, that would have been epic, dude. If he would have ended up in a pub, and that would have been cool.
Can you imagine the movie's like ending and he's sitting there drinking and you just hear, the boys are back in town, and he's like just sitting there like.
I did think it was interesting. I did not expect to see the dude from Freddy vs. Jason in this.
And he always does a good job in most of his films.
He does.
Yeah, he does a good job.
What character are we talking about?
Will, the main guy, his best friend that broke out of the asylum with him. The guy, his friend is in this. Yeah.
He gets the
yeah.
But when I was watching this and they're running away from the cabin they got locked in, and he's injured and he falls down, the Freddy versus Jason guy.
Yep.
And they're like, help, and the main girl turns around. But yet this guy's girlfriend and the main girl's boyfriend haul ass away, and she's the one who goes back and helps him. And later on, the dude's all upset when his girlfriend is killed. I'm like, hell no! I would have said take her first. She left me.
Yeah, yeah, dude. No, the main guy, like the main chick's boyfriend, he's a dork in the movie, man. He just don't like him, man. Dude, I think it's so funny though when they're like, okay, we're ready for him. We're gonna wait till he pops back into the door.
And oh my god, I laughed so hard
because, dude, don't get me wrong, the practicals look good when she fucking ices her in the fucking dome with the axe.
And I don't know what the hell she was trying to accomplish. She was in a safe ass spot down there.
Yeah, dude, but then she's like absolutely losing her mind, bawling, and then it's like next scene, and then they're like running out the door, and she's like, come on, we gotta go, or whatever. And it was just like, I don't know, she's like sobbing so bad that she just like head sliced the shit out of her friend, and then it's like, okay, we gotta go, run. And then she just like, it's just like, I don't know, to me it was kind of funny. I don't know.
I did love the part where they're tied to the tree and the leprechaun grabs her tongue ring and literally just slowly rips it out of her tongue.
Amen, that was a good part.
And I can't remember, I must have got distracted, but I was sitting there thinking for a while, I'm like, if they make her talk normally, I'm going to be so mad because that is not realistic. But I can't remember, did she actually talk after that or no?
I can't remember, to be honest. I just know like he got out and like let them out, and then he was like, don't leave me or whatever, and then he like gets them all out, and then he's like, come on, we gotta go, he's done for. And I'm like, this dude's a piece of shit, man.
Mm-hmm. And then same thing with the dude who was all upset that his dad was getting killed. I'm like, you're the one who pushed him down the stairs, and your dad was a douchebag. Just let him die.
100%.
The biggest thing. Oh, okay. If you want to,
Sarah's so right here. Yeah, Origins was rough. I couldn't get past them looking like the creatures from The Descent. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much what it looked like. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was getting like the Descent crawlers with like kind of the creatures from A Quiet Place in a way.
True. Yeah.
Like the movements.
Oh yeah, I mean the thing was super fucking fast, man. Like 100%. Yeah. And like the ending is awesome though. The way the chick like takes care of the whole situation. I won't ruin it I don't know if Donnie's gonna watch this, but to me at the end, how she kills it, you're just like, God, it took them that long to be able to decide to do that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I feel like they had chances, but it was
then the end reveal though, right before it cuts to the end credits, was pretty cool.
Yeah, where there's multiple or whatever. Yeah, pretty crazy.
So the thing I'm like caught up on is the fact that Cody was like talking about the tongue ring thing, and the fact that he was talking about like realism in a movie made by World Wrestling Entertainment, like
by WWF.
I mean, come on, though. Even they would have to know. They would have to know you are not going to talk like a normal person with your tongue split in half like a snake.
Cody, this is a company that like panders to small children and hit people with steel weapons. Do you think they care about being realistic in a movie?
I will not tolerate slander for The Call because that movie is amazing.
Okay.
I don't know, dude. The WWF, they just make really good movies, man. Yeah.
Yeah, they're at least fun. Like even what was that one? What was that one where it was like the Hunger Games, but it was all prisoners and it had like Vinnie Jones in it?
Ooh, Hunger Games, but like I'm not familiar.
Yeah, they're having like all these prisoners thrown into like the jungle or something, and it's like a fight to the death.
The Condemned.
Yeah, The Condemned. That one was fun.
I'll have to check that out. The Condemned.
It had Stone Cold Steve Austin in it. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, see, there you go. There goes your WWF connection since you don't know the letter E.
No doubt. Okay, and then on to the last one. We just watched this last night. It was the first time in quite a while, not gonna lie. But Cody, I'll start with you, man. What did you think of Returns? So this Donnie is a direct sequel from the first one. So it's just the first. It's like a 2018, pretty much, which actually it came out in 2018.
They're going back. They go back to the house in the original film.
Dude, Cody, do you think it was the original house?
Maybe.
Sure looked like it, man.
Like
I don't know if it
I
was.
looked up the location. I looked up the location for.
Wait. So
Yeah.
it's a direct sequel to the very first one that we talked about.
Just the first one. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much what they. It's pretty much what they did with Halloween 2018.
Halloween.
I followed that kind of formula.
Okay, but it's not Warwick playing Leprechaun.
No, it's not. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
I don't think the guy does a terrible job. I think the one-liners just aren't as great, but they're not terrible. But
yeah, it goes back to the less serious formula and just goes back to the jokey stuff.
Yep, I would say so. Dude, honestly, the way the movie starts out, I thought the practicals looked really good. I thought the CG actually looked pretty fucking good. I would say that was some, positive stuff about the film. I would say that it's, well, again, Cody, I know, my bad. I know you're looking that up.
This one was filmed in South Africa.
Nice.
South Africa?
Yeah.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the only location that it brings up on IMDb, but then it also says Canada.
Well, I'll just say
for, like, countries of origin, but it's only for just under the filming locations tab. It just says South Africa, and the first one was filmed in California.
I would say they did a pretty good job having the house look, very, very similar.
They did,
and then you got.
I had to, obviously, like I said, I had to rent this one because it's the only one not streaming on Peacock.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry you wasted your money, dude. I'm sorry.
I wouldn't say it was a waste of money. I think I wasted more money on that Samara Weaving movie, honestly, because I enjoyed this more.
Dude, that's insane. You better not let her hear you say that, dude.
Well, I mean, she was like, she and Ray Nicholson were at least the best part of the movie. So,
oh, dude, she's like the best chick in horror right now. Like, is that too much to say, or?
No.
You worried about her hearing it, Cody? The only way that would happen is because Anthony's going to tell her.
No, dude, I mean, I'm just saying, like, in her films, like, she's doing a very good job right now. But again, you have. I don't know. To me, like what you were saying about that film, I can.
Well, apparently her husband wrote and directed it, so maybe it's just like, yeah, I'll do this for you, babe.
Yeah. Did he direct anything else before that?
I'm not sure. I think this was his directorial debut.
I do like the storyline. It's kind of crazy out there. You know what I mean? Kind of an original concept, or is it? Or would you say?
I mean, well, I found out when I was watching it, I was looking up the trivia and stuff for it. It's based on Madonna's Stalker.
I can dig that.
Samara Weaving's boyfriend in it is supposed to be Samara Weaving is supposed to be like Madonna, and her boyfriend in it is supposed to be like Dennis Rodman when she was dating him.
Okay, interesting.
Quick question. As I was reading here, excuse me. Do you guys think that? I mean, I don't have a problem with Dylan Postal. I mean, I never thought of Hornswoggle as like a character really in wrestling. I mean, obviously he was there for a long time in WWE, but I'm sorry, Anthony, WWF. But do you guys think that something between like the deal with the WWE studios and Lionsgate was like part of it had to do with the fact it's just like, oh, well, he plays a leprechaun on TV, so let's just go that route. And then somewhere along the way, it just turned like more grotesque because I feel like a little microcosm of the way he played actual leprechaun in WWE programming, he actually acted a little bit like Lep from the movies. And I'm saying, do you think it was it was contrived just to change him from how he normally appeared, and that's why they went so far left with
That's possible, dude. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I totally see what you're saying.
Because, like, you remember wrestler Finley, Anthony?
I don't. Sorry.
So Finley, he was called Fit Finley in WCW, but in WWE, that was his whole thing. He had like shillelagh, and he would cheat, but all the time you would see like Hornswoggle like peeking up. He'd be under the ring, like peeking, like he up through the skirt of the ring, and he would throw him the shillelagh, and then bop, he would hit somebody in the head with it, whatever. And he just had this kind of like comedic kind of role of how he played. Like he even fought another you know little person wrestler who was like a luchador, and they had a WLC, not TLC, a WLC match where literally the ladders, the chairs, and tables were all the same size as them. It was the funniest shit I've ever seen.
That is pretty funny.
Like, but
nice.
he just played that kind of happy-go-lucky kind of like leprechaun kind of character,
see,
and I'm
that's
just
what I
wondering
think
if that's
people
why.
assumed. I think a lot of people assumed that he was going to be taking the place of Warwick Davis.
Amen.
Because of that.
Yeah.
And so when the trailer dropped, people were like,
I
"What
see.
the fuck is this?"
Yeah. No, dude, I can remember when this movie came out, and I was like, "Oh, nice, man! Like another Leprechaun movie. Like, let's fucking go!" And when you watched it the first time, you were like, "Whoa, dude, this is not at all what I thought this was going to be." It was crazy. I remember.
But yeah,
Interesting.
As far as returns, yeah, I thought it was a great, like, direct sequel to the original. Like how it tied it in. I recognized the main girl from the show Melissa and Joey, because she was Melissa Joan Hart's niece on the show.
Okay.
But I don't think her acting was that good in this. The comedy by the main characters wasn't that good. I thought all the characters were pretty much annoying because they were like those, they were like those wacko environmentalists, like just trying to change the world and make it a better place. And it's like
totally agree. Yeah. But
not to negate, yes, the environment is important, but to make that your entire personality, no.
Yeah, I totally know what you mean. Like, she did a pretty good job. And okay, so not trying to ruin it for you or anything.
I did laugh when she's in the basement and she's trying to break the window and she like tries to throw something at it and then she finds like little things. She's like, yeah, I probably should have done that first.
Yeah, the hammer or whatever. Yeah. I won't ruin it for you, Donnie. Hopefully this might like come on TV or something, or like a streaming platform for free sometime, but I'm pretty sure it's been on Tubi before. I'm almost certain it has.
Yeah, I can't remember.
This returns joint.
Yeah, this the main girl in the film is actually Tori Redding, Jennifer Aniston's daughter in the film.
It's not a spoiler. We find that out like super early.
Yeah, so it's actually her daughter. So Tori Redding, Jennifer Aniston in the first one, it's her daughter, and she returns back to the house or whatever. And Ozzy from the first one, he's in it again. Also, he returns.
Huh.
And they're turning her old house into a sorority or a sorority.
Yeah.
I wonder why not just get Warwick, unless he just flat out was like, I just don't want to do this.
Let me look up at the trivia again. I'm pretty sure it said that.
He could, like, that does makeup effects and all that stuff. That stuff take a long time, man. And like,
dude, I'm telling you, 100%, Donnie. But I'm telling you right now, if he ever went to like a horror con that I was going to, he would be like one of the first autographs I would get, man. Like straight up,
no doubt. And like, and you could even, it's just the behind the scenes thing from like Tales from the Hood. They were talking and they asked like Clarence Williams III. They asked him, oh, like, how did you like? Like getting to play the devil and like the makeup and like all that stuff. How was that? Did you enjoy getting, like made up to look like the devil? And he was like, I did not. And like that's
definitely the tone that he has. Yeah.
Like it just straight. That was some bullshit. Because I think they said it took 4 hours to get him in the devil makeup.
Oh, wow.
Just for that 15 seconds at the end of the movie. Yeah. Like, so. I could understand if Warwick Davis was like, man, I've been doing this a long ass time.
Now, here's the IMDb trivia. Again, obviously, people can enter whatever the hell they want, so we'll take this with a grain of salt if you wish. Warwick Davis, who portrayed the Leprechaun in the previous installments, Sam's Origins, was offered the chance to reprise his role but declined. He said his view of the genre has changed significantly since becoming a father, and he doesn't think he'll appear in any more horror films.
I can dig that. I can dig it. He did his time, but I can dig it. Like, I think I've heard other.
He did his time.
Yeah. Like I've
12 years of it. In Azkaban.
I can dig it though. Yeah, for sure. Dude, you want to know one of the most heartbreaking things about the franchise though? Dude, is in Leprechaun 3. The one in Vegas, obviously, the main actress, Lee Armstrong, dude, she did this film. What did you think of her, Cody, like in the film, or like, what did you guys think? I thought she was
very good.
Yeah. I thought she did a great job. Right. I thought she was a good final girl. Totally fucking.
I agree.
I thought she was hot as shit too. she quit acting after this movie, dude. I don't know if it was because of like if it got like bad publicity or like what, but she just ended up quit acting. Like she just quit
like altogether.
Altogether, yeah. I looked it up earlier today because it was like, what other movies has she done? And they were like on Reddit, they were like, yeah, she was done with acting after the film.
It's funny how
sometimes you just realize it's not for you. But I mean,
true.
Maybe it's. I mean, sometimes it's different. Like, 'cause I mean, look at the girl who played Newt in Aliens. She pretty much stopped acting, I think, after that.
Yes, sometimes they mostly come at night. Mostly.
I love when they make that a thing in South Park.
South Park, yeah, that episode's hilarious.
Just the way some of the dialogue on there be like, y'all remember when the one dude he like kidnapped Cartman? He was like the real killer, but like he was mad because he was like, Cartman, he's like, you've been taking credit for all of my work and stuff, and he was showing him pictures of him on like vacation where he didn't kill people, and he's like, do you see? Do you see? And he had Cartman like tied to the chair.
Yeah, that episode is hilarious, dude. God, I need to rewatch that shit.
Cartman using his mental powers. Had me in the floor, bro. Like,
yeah.
But no, I was gonna say you were talking about just sometimes people just quit. Okay, you guys all okay. We all know Ken Foray. You know what I mean. We know from Halloween. I knew him from Key and Kel, right?
That's where I knew him too. So when I seen him as Joe Grizzly, I'm like, what?
Yeah, right. Like, and Teal Martindale, who played the mom on Kenan and Kel, once that show ended in 2000, because Kenan and Kel were both like 22 or 23 years old playing 17-year-olds. Once the show ended, they did that movie. She never acted again, like still to this day.
Oh,
so
wow.
you know, it's just it's just funny how it's been 25 years since Kenan and Kel went off TV. So yeah, it's interesting how that happens. Like, it's one thing to like slow down like acting, like you're not acting as much. It's another thing
or like
to stop
pull a
it
Cameron
altogether.
Diaz and go on a big ass hiatus and then come back because Jamie Foxx wanted you to.
But I'm saying that's different though, to come back to it or just kind of sparsely doing what you're doing. You know what I mean? Like Clarence Williams III, he still acted quite a bit after like Tales from the Hood, and you know, obviously he was in Purple Rain and stuff like that. And then you know, he just as time went on, just started slowly, you know, less and less stuff, all the way till he, you know, retired. He passed away a couple years ago. So, you know, but you guys said that the Returns one is not streaming, right?
It's not on anything. Yeah.
Okay, I was making notes here on my computer.
I think I rented it for like $3.99. So
on YouTube,
I rented it on Apple, but yeah, I'm sure it's roughly the same price anywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wouldn't make it I mean, unless you really want to see it. But I mean, yeah, like I would maybe just wait till it's on a streaming platform. But but it's not terrible. It's really not. It's way better than Origins, just in my opinion, for a Leprechaun film. But
so before we get out of here, there was something I wanted to ask then, because I know Cody, I'm sure you've seen it. I'm just interested, Anthony, in what your thought is, because we were kind of talking about it. And I feel like we got to do a stream about this, like, and just talk about it, because I feel like it's, I don't know. I just thought these movies were done very, very well. I'm just a big fan of Escape Room.
Like, oh yeah, you had brought this up, yeah.
In particular, that franchise. You know, I'm sure there's other, you know, films with that same kind of like aesthetic or whatever.
Well, I mean, there's another movie called Escape Room with the same idea, but it's a totally different movie.
Right? Yeah,
like the same idea, but just like bad.
There's two like truth or dares. Yeah, like same thing.
Quick question. Is one of them like where like this, they think this girl drags them there? See, I feel like I've seen two different ones. Yes, I think you guys are right. There's a sequel, right, Donnie, to the one you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
How many? Just one or two?
Just one. It's called Tournament of Champions.
But there's two different cuts of it. One of them is a completely different movie.
Completely different movie.
Oh, wow. Okay, so now I just recently watched an Escape Room, but I feel like it wasn't like the other ones that I had watched previous. I think it was like something that where like some guy like drugged them and brought them to the place or something. And she like she's like naked and she's like I need to get out of here. I need to get out of here or whatever. Okay, yeah.
No, this is like PG-13. There's no naked people in this one.
Well, she's naked, but like you don't see anything. She's just like naked on the street, and she like goes to a payphone, and then he's like, "This was the game I put you through," or some shit. I can't remember, but they're like, it's like, I'll send it to you. Okay, continue. Sorry, my bad, dude.
No, I was yeah, Cody is right about that. I don't know what that was about either. Like if you go, because I just watched Tournament of Champions, was on TV the other day, so I sat down and watched it. And you good?
Yep.
There's like a part where you can, if you've seen like the other cut, when it gets to this certain part of the movie where the divide happens, where it turns into two completely different films, there's like one scene where you can see where it's like, oh, well, maybe that other version is the like canon storyline that they were going to end it with, or go with that instead of this other one that they give you. And it's like basically these in the first one, I think it's 5 random people never met each other before, and they all get like this random puzzle box that they got to figure out, and it gives them this ticket to Minos escape rooms, and they get to Minos escape room. Gotcha. And then the room they're in, they think they're in a waiting room, but it's the first room of the escape room. Okay. Like the whole like thing. And so, you know, like they go from one room that's like extreme heat, the next room is like extreme cold, the next room is like,
remember this. Yeah.
Oh like my god, the pool house scene.
Yeah, it's in the inversion of everything was crazy. And like, yeah, like and then what I loved, like what drew me in was how you had all the different kind of characters. You know what I mean? You had the one character that was like super nerdy into the escape room thing. No, they would never do anything to actually hurt us, and then he gets murked first, you know. So then the other ones are like, this ain't what he was talking about. You know what I mean? But then you got like the one dude that's like super ruthless, and then you got like Zoe, who's like a smart, quiet, timid chick, but she's like figuring it all out.
And there's like a badass military girl.
Yeah, like that's what drew me in. And then how each room was kind of like set to like they were all sole survivors of their own accidents, and each room was dedicated to one of those people, because the people betting on it wanted to see like, oh well, you know, is one of them more lucky than the other, since they were all sole survivors of a previous accident. But it ends not I wouldn't say with a cliffhanger, but it ends where there was room to make a second one. And then the second one, if you go with, is the theatrical cut the one where they're on the airplane, Cody? That's the theatrical ending, I mean.
Like, yeah, the theatrical ending is the one with them on the plane, yeah.
Okay, so the ending, I'm saying, Anthony, the ending of that first one, you said you've seen it, so, you know, Zoe and Ben are the last two that, you know, they survive. It's supposed to be just one, but Zoe comes back, saves Ben, and then she finds out like, oh, Minos is like, they're hiding in New York City. We got to go there, da 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 da. And then it shows them like getting a plane ready, and you think like a plane crash is happening, but it's just another simulation because it's another escape room, and that's how that ends. And so the like theatrical version of the second one plays off of that. But then when it came out, I didn't get to the theaters to see it. I was like, okay, I'll just buy it on the Xbox. I bought it, and then it went completely different than what I saw when it came on TV later on. I was like, this ain't the same movie. Like, what is this? Like, I was kind of confused about. So I don't know which way they're gonna go with it.
Yeah, like the entire last half of the movie is totally 100% different.
Entirely different movie. Like
after the two girls die in the acid rain, that's when it goes into a completely different direction, basically.
Yeah, I thought it was a little earlier than that it changed, but yeah, you might be right.
But I mean, they have little inserts, but that's when like the back half goes different.
Yeah, and two, I like the puzzle thing. Like I really dug the shit out of like the safe like puzzle. Like I thought that was kind of, you know.
Yeah,
like,
and let's just call it the director's cut, the one that, you know, with that's totally different. I like that way better than the theatrical, and a lot of that is because I hate what they did with the military chick. I thought that was, yeah, man. I hate what they did with her character. It felt totally out of character, And so I'd rather her have just stayed dead in the film instead of bringing her back
and
just for
then
that stupid little twist.
and to not like reference it at all. You know what I mean? In the first one, do you know if you felt like, oh well, we kind of want to play around with this or what? You know what I mean? Like if they, I'm saying if they had leverage over her, I feel like that's something she might have brought up or would
Right.
have been referenced to or something.
Oh yeah, because then all of a sudden she has a kid out of nowhere.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, and that's what they're harping on. They're using that as, like, and I noticed too, this is why I think that the director's cut was the original version. Cause you know that part where Ben is like behind like the glass and it's filling up with the water and
Uh-huh.
Zoe is like trying to figure out how to break the glass. Like, cause at the end, she's like, didn't it all seem too easy? Like
Yep.
we got out of there too easy, and she starts putting it together again that something ain't right. The Even in that scene where he's like drowning and stuff, you can actually watch like every time he's talking, you can see where they did overdubs because what he's saying is not what is not matching his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I feel like there was just like a lot of edits, and it's like, well, why not just stand by your original ending? But maybe because of how it ended, it turns into like almost a different movie. There's no room for an Escape Room 3. You know what I'm saying? Because like 3, you
Yeah.
would think would pick up exactly where the theatrical cut ends on the plane, right? And we saw them making that puzzle or whatever you want to say at the end of the first one. So maybe that's why they chose not to go with it. But
And
but
that
no,
sucks because it was they could have made it just a completely solid trilogy because both films are solid. I don't hate the theatrical, but it's still a decent film.
yeah,
So
like
like they could have made it such a good trilogy, and I like
so.
Zoe as a final girl.
So you haven't seen the second one, Anthony?
I actually think I have, but it's just been a minute. I do remember watching the first one and being like, I think I need to watch the second one like right after, and I'm pretty sure I did, but I can't quite remember. I just looked that they're on Hulu, so I could watch both of them.
But see, if you watch it on there, you're gonna get the theatrical ending, not the one that me and Cody were talking about. I guess the director's cut or whatever. But yeah, that's the one, if you remember, where they were on like the subway and like the subway became like electrified. Like yes, Brittany,
Okay.
that's what I'm saying. Let me get a third one. They had to get like these tokens to like it was enough tokens to I think to shut off the electricity so they could get out of the subway car, but the
Yeah.
rails and all the it's all metal. You know what I mean? You can't touch anything, and so they were trying to figure out. We got to have some kind of like I don't know insulation, some kind of rubber padding or something because if we touch these, we're going to get electrocuted like to death. And pretty sure one of the characters went out in that puzzle.
And then they had like the quicksand on the beach, and then the acid rain.
Yeah, like and see, and if you're going off the theatrical cut, then Ben and what's her name, Amanda, both are still alive when they should have died, right? Like technically, that would take out everybody, right? Except Zoe.
Yeah. And then because I think the first thing that threw me off when I saw the theatrical film, because I remember before it came out, they were doing all the announcements, of course, and they said that Isabel Furman from Orphan, who played Esther, that she was going to be in it, and that was like a huge deal because like, oh my God, Esther, And then as I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, well, where the hell is Isabel Furman? And then the movie's over. I'm like, what the hell?
And to Anthony, it's one of those movies where like it's one of those movies where like oh no, guys, I think we're in another escape room, but we're also survivors. So what is this? A tournament of champions? Oh, he said it. They said it. They said it.
Yeah, dude, I'm actually 100% sure that I just recently watched a movie called Escape Room, and it was way different. I promise what I was just explaining to you guys. I'm pretty sure it's on Tubi, so that's where I was watching it from.
Yeah.
I think it might have been the same one, because I think the artwork is like a woman underwater or something like that.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
No doubt.
Okay, guys, don't hate me, but I got to go to the bathroom really bad. So
that's because you never go before you start streaming.
Oh no, I definitely do. I just polishing off One of these right here. Good old caffeine. But
and when you're 8 feet tall, I would imagine.
But let's do it before we leave. Like, you don't have to rank the whole franchise, Donnie. Just like what would be your top 3?
Ooh, 3. I'm gonna go with Leprechaun in the Hood.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with that one first, and then I'm gonna go with Las Vegas. So 3, and then I'm gonna go probably the second one, because I think I would go with that over like In Space or the first one personally.
Okay, I can dig it. Again, dude, you watch Back to the Hood. I swear it's funny as fuck, dude. It's good shit. All right, Cody, what's yours? Or you can rank the franchise or like whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'll rank it. So I will go Leprechaun 3, Leprechaun in the Hood, Returns, Back to the Hood, Origins, Leprechaun 2, and Leprechaun in Space.
Dude, you're putting Origins in front of 2. But Cody, it's all you, dude. It's all good. No, because Cody just posted, like, even before I talked about the stream, he had given like the second one star out of 5, and I was like, Cody, you're hurting my heart, man.
Cody, I just want you to know too. Just like honestly, once we get off of here, Anthony he's gonna like record a voice message and be like, "Can you believe that motherfucker Cody had 2 so far?" Like that's what's gonna happen. I guarantee you.
It happens to the best of us.
No, I can dig it, man. Like that's what makes horror awesome. Like we each perceive the franchises, however we want to perceive it.
Yeah, and like I said, Leprechaun Origins sucks as a Leprechaun movie, but I just still really liked it for what it was.
It's a slasher film, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it's just a creature feature slasher film, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, it's like the 97 Godzilla, 97 Godzilla. People hate it because like that's not Godzilla. I'm like, but
True.
I still like it. It's a fun fucking movie.
Yeah. Amen to that. That fucking early 90s CGI, no doubt. Okay, I am going to go 3, 1, 2, Back to the Hood, 4. Yeah, dude. Returns is just. I'll go In the Hood, Returns, Origins. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
That would be mine.
List. Yeah, that's not a bad list. Like,
I want to give out to another shout out to another famous Leprechaun, and that is when Gerard Butler played a Leprechaun in that segment of movie 43, where he beats the shit out of Johnny Knoxville and Sean William Scott for kidnapping him. Because it's like Sean William Scott's birthday or something like that, and Johnny Knoxville wants to give him a birthday present, so he kidnaps a leprechaun for his gold, and Gerard Butler plays a leprechaun, and he's just foul-mouthed, and he ends up just beating the shit out of him.
I've never, ever heard about this, huh?
You got to watch movie 43. People say it's one of the worst movies ever, but it's so funny. It has an A-list cast. Like, you have, like, a segment with Kate Winslet and Hugh Jackman, and they're on a first date. And Hugh Jackman takes off his scarf, and he has a nutsack on his neck.
Huh.
And so it's like wagging all over the place, and has like little hairs on it. And she's sitting there trying not to puke, and like he's holding a baby, and the nutsack neck is sitting on top of his head.
That's crazy, like, yeah.
And he's like, "Oh my god, it's cold in here. Do you feel a draft?" And the nutsack neck is like sucked up into his neck.
Huh.
And then you have one with Anna Faris and Chris Pratt, and he thinks that she's gonna ask him to move on, that they want to move on to the next step or like that, or he wants to propose, and it's like there's some romantic setting, but in reality, the moment ends with her asking for him to poop on her.
Oh wow. I'm not at all familiar with this movie.
It is so goddamn funny.
Yo, the way he said that though, like the way he was describing the Hugh Jackman part though, Anthony, didn't it sound like Buddy from Men in Black 2? Okay, he's a Balchinian, and like he pulled down the the scarf.
Yeah, like you look on the IMDb, there's so many names in it, and like Halle Berry is in it.
It's literally what
Dennis Quaid.
Yeah.
Yes, Brittany knows what's up.
That's crazy. Yeah, maybe I've seen the cover and I just didn't ever watch it. Yeah, I don't know.
Shout out to Halle Berry.
Check it out. Okay, fellas. Yeah, let's wrap it up. Again, thank you everybody for joining us. Again, thank you guys for joining me too, because honestly, man, I know I'm probably crazy about it, but like, dude, I fucking love this franchise. Like, it's probably one of the more guilty pleasure films or franchises out there for myself. So it's definitely top of the line. Okay, first we got to see what Dom said here. Okay, so he's going with 3 in the Hood, Back to the Hood, 1 Space, 2 Returns, Origins. Nice. Yeah, Origins, man.
No, I don't fault anyone for putting it last.
No, that's dope. It is kind of crazy how we all enjoy 3 though. Like, yeah, I mean 3. I think 3 is just.
It's just that aesthetic of like a leprechaun, Vegas, gold. It just,
amen, dude. I think you're right, dude. I think it's like the perfect setting. Yeah, 100%. Right. Thank you, Brittany, so very much for joining us too. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much.
They're gonna make a new Leprechaun movie, but it's gonna take place during the gold rush. Like,
wow, that's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting concept. Or like a medieval time, like because in like Back to the Hood, they talk about that. Yeah,
again, he's trying to find the Templar treasure, like
right.
Yeah, no, I say it right now, a Leprechaun and a Hangover crossover.
Hangover,
yeah.
Oh, that'd be hilarious. They make like a spoof film about it or some shit. Leprechaun in the West, yeah, that would be interesting. Sadly, I guess we're not ever going to get Warwick Davis. But again, like I said, he did his time, so it's all good. He gave us a very good glimpse of greatness. Honestly, like I said, dude, I think his performance is some of the best in horror, man. Like straight up.
Yeah, I mean, he's still doing the horror circuit too at cons and stuff. Like, I think he's going to be at one here down in Minneapolis coming up later this fall.
Dude, so I just started following Caroline Williams this morning on Instagram, and I saw that she was posting some stuff about like Leprechaun 3, and then I thought she said something about her and Warwick being at the same con. So
yeah, because it's Crypticon that happens in Minneapolis. So
nice.
Something happening in Minneapolis not named after Prince. Crazy.
Hey, Lizzo is from Minneapolis.
Who is?
Lizzo.
Again.
Oh,
okay.
Right on.
Okay.
No doubt.
William Scott is from Minneapolis. Well, he's from Minnesota, I should say. But so
Legend.
Jessica Biel.
Legend. Ooh. Yes.
I'd like her more if she ditched JT, but
Oh, she did.
I said I'd like her even more if she ditched.
Oh, JT. Gotcha. Leprechaun cameo in Terrifier 4.
Yeah.
Unless it's Warwick, I don't
amazing.
want it.
We have to make a and we're all good too on like casting if we ever need to make a movie about giants.
True. This is true.
So
as long as I'm a good giant, though, that'd be all good. But again, thank you everybody for joining us. Everybody in the comments and everything. Thank you. Again, I say this like all the time. It's just like hard schedules and everything and trying to find time, but hopefully we can do a stream sooner than later. Another one. We'll try to think of something good. Maybe we could just do another one, Donnie, where we just like talk about some movies that we just like want to, you know what I mean? Like we just like pick 3 films or something. That'd be pretty dope. And then maybe we can I can look at these escape room movies and tell you what I think. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that I watched the first 2 and I did enjoy them. I just can't. I think I just watched them the one time though. So I'll have to watch them again.
Yeah, I'd love to hear what you think for sure.
Nice,
especially about that second one. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Again, everybody, thank you very much, and we will see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Later.